Button is clicked. All right, people. Hello, people. This is a live stream. There's not really plans, but I have plans. Are they good for all of you? Probably not. Anyway,
Uh-oh.
all right. Introduce yourself. I made you a little picture.
Oh.
Or is it this one? I made you a picture. It's this thing. I didn't get the exact purple, but I got a purple.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, I'm Kylo Neko. I have made the Linux guide to VTubing and and a good chunk of videos as well about Linux VTubing. I've been on Linux for 2 years, so I've had a good chunk of experience with it, and I'm pretty much just here to stay on Linux and do what I can to help people out.
Yeah, I think you. Oh, I forget who shared the guide. I forget where I found it. I
I think
think
it
I found
was.
it I think Ren was the one who shared it with me. Just
Mm,
because he and I have a bit of a history together, but
ah.
that's a little wacky. Because Ren was so. Sorry, his old man storytelling time. Ren was he was the first. Like he was technically. I have tried and looked everywhere, but as far as I know, and I can confirm his suspicions, he is likely the very first Linux VTuber. There's
Oh
probably some
damn.
other people that I have no proof. If you find proof, I'm willing to accept it. Just give it to me, and then we'll look over those claims. But for all intents and purposes, I have looked into this as much as possible. And if you look at the date of the creation of who is this? Hello. And if you look at the date of my channel creation, you can confirm this. I am number 2. As far as I know,
Ooh.
I am number 2. Yes, I even beat out. I know everyone likes to talk about Lena. No, I beat out her too.
Oh, Selena would be the third
She's the
then.
3rd.
I see.
So, and then I have 4th. I kind of lost track. There's a bunch of other people.
Yeah, I mean, there was a good chunk of people, like a lot of the information about the Linux VTubing in general was spread out and implied, and I was like, I don't like that it's just implied and it wasn't in one spot.
Oh, I
And
was gonna
then,
do it eventually. I wanted to make money off of it. You just beat me to the punch.
we don't make money off public
Oh
information. We
no,
give
no,
it
we
to the
don't.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
welcome to open source. It wouldn't be open source if you weren't financially unsustainable.
I have I have a funny story about somebody getting mad about an open source project related to the guide that I can tell you.
Oh really?
Yeah. When we get closer to that,
We'll get
I
to it.
can.
We'll get
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
Um, so trying to take the time to be a chill session. I'll kind of read chat, but I guess I kind of won't. So also with Fugi, it's a little weird because I only figured out how to do it a couple hours ago when I got back from a play date. So also
Ah,
if you hear a piano, that's probably what you're gonna hear. So someone downstairs will be playing the piano. But
piano.
uh anyway, so I think you reached out to me. I want to say a couple, was it weeks ago,
I think it was
months
closer to a
ago,
month.
a
I think
month.
it was
Yeah.
closer to about a month. Yeah, because I was in the middle of moving and I was trying to see what about getting a video out just to see what people would do as a follow up the other video, and eventually it was done and it got released before I moved. So
Oh, so that explains. Okay, that answers a couple that
uh,
understandably answer some of my questions. If that
yeah.
I wrote them in my notes. We'll get to it we'll get
Uh-huh.
there when we get
Okay.
there. But that
Yeah.
actually explains a lot. Um, uh,
Yeah, I have a lot to talk about when it comes to how I even thought about even doing the guide in general because
sure.
yeah.
So let's see. So you sent me a thing for the video, and at the time I was just swamped with too many things in my life, and I just could. I'm sorry, just couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
I understand.
my model is quite gonzo. Um, I'm sure I have a copy floating around somewhere, but it is quite gonzo, and I have thought I've wanted to make a video about this for a very long time, but I'm just gonna take the opportunity to do it now, more as like a cautionary tale, rather than anything else. So, all right, let's get cracking. So you asked me to record the video. I'll show the video right. I need to actually click the button.
Oh, you made a video?
No. You made the video. Is it
okay?
Which video is it? It's...
All right. I thought you made like a video and didn't like post it. 'Cause you're like, oh, it's got posted online.
Oh no, I literally just did not have time. November was a nightmare for me.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because like Christmas is usually bad, but not so much this time. The thing that I need to actually find the video. In the meantime, we'll just use this to advertise your channel. Why is this 404? Oh, because on YouTube, that's right. If you're an old person like me, you have an old channel, you can do / your handle and then go to that person's channel. Your channel's too new, so you can't do that because YouTube.
My channel was made in 2017.
Yeah, but it depends on when. I think it's something about like your
Technically, I have 2 handles because one of them is a string of code that YouTube uses, and the other one is literally just the handle.
You mean channel ID?
Yeah.
I mean, no one actually knows channel IDs. When I don't even have mine. The only place that has mine written down is my website, and that's it.
Oh, I need to update my website at some point.
Yeah, your website was like gives me major throwbacks to like old school internet.
Oh yeah, it was using. It's on NeoCities, so it uses HTML.
Classic.
Yeah.
Not nearly as wacky as that Tor dark web website NeoCities page of a guy.
What I'm more surprised
of a guy ranting about Oran Host Club, the anime.
Yeah. What I'm more surprised about is I haven't paid NeoCities in a little while, and the site is still showing up. So,
how much does it cost?
Like $5 a month.
That's not terrible, actually.
For like 50 gigabytes, and 50? HTML is not huge, so yeah,
that's
50.
Oh, interesting.
It is way better than Squarespace.
Well, it depends.
I just have to remake my whole website using Bootstrap.
Yeah, one of my friends, she sells jewelry on Squarespace. So, yeah, it depends on what you're doing.
Squarespace was like $35 a month with like all the stuff I want. And then like I go and take a look and like, oh, NeoCities offers me something very similar. And everything else you can like either like implement via like CSS or you can implement with like available resources, and then you could just do what you got to do with like the basic stuff, and then it'll just work.
Yeah. All right. So I have the video. I'm not gonna play the. No, don't play the video. Don't play the video.
Don't do it.
All right. Okay. Notes time. I'll just do. That's the wrong one. That's also the wrong one. Whoops. Which one is it? Actually, click on studio mode. Why is it? Oh, it just changed my window. Why? Thank you, Linux. I was like, no, I did click. I'm not insane. I did click on the right window. It just shuffled around all of my windows. This one. On Mac, it's kind of the same, but it's kind of just as bad. All right, and then on it's a little better, but it's not great. Then on Windows, I think it just works because they test everything on Windows first. Okay. Button. All right. So I watched a video, and because whenever someone sends me a video, you know what that means, right? It's when someone sends me a video, I timestamp and read through like the entire I watch like the entire video, and then I make timestamps and I do notes on like every single thing. And then this got so long, which is about like 6 pages if you put it into a Microsoft Word. And I'm not gonna read the whole thing. because I am willing to bet more of these are just going to be answered by like me having you here, so we don't have to
Yeah.
go through the whole thing and drain everybody of all of our time and monies. All right, monies. Oh well, I won't drain you of your money. I mean, you are more than willing to go to my Patreon or YouTube join button to drain your money, and I will gladly take it. Just don't do it at the detriment of your own health, okay? Right.
Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell too, so you get the latest notifications.
Well, if you want the latest notifications, it's called download the RSS feed on my website. So then you don't have to rely on YouTube to give you notifications.
So true.
On the Lively website of 2,000 unique visitors per month. Does the unique visitors include robots? Probably.
Robots are like 90% there. They're like scraping the internet. Stupid.
Oh, it's okay. I have measures to block robots. It's not perfect, but gets the bigger offenders.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
All right, so I watched a video. What is it? You said something. For some reason, I wrote this. Alt Windows. I assume this refers. I'm assuming. I don't remember what you said. I assume this is something to do with Tiny 11, or something, and how it doesn't really solve the problem. Yeah, I agree. Did I say Tiny 11? That's not a good example.
LTSC, Tiny 11.
Yeah,
it's the same,
sure.
It's the same situation. Like,
actually, I would argue LTSC is pretty bad. Like, that's like, I know people use that as an example, but
it's lacking processes. It's lacking things it really needs. Like at its core, like yes, it can work, but it's not perfect. And you also have to deal with the fact that you can use LTSC for a little while until like 2027, and then you're in the same boat. Just move to Linux at this point. Like, don't delay it any longer.
Okay. But I want to get to probably. Why don't we cut to the chase there? Because I think you touched on something there. You said this was a star. I put a star next to this one. At 122. You said ending one of the best OSs. I'm going to have to contest this one. I actually saw a graph the other day. I don't remember where I saw it. I don't know if where I saw it was on, like, I'm gonna try to get Inkscape open and draw something, so I'm not like, I don't sound like an insane crazy person. Actually, let's just do something fast.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like that meme where you just write in that graph and he's got the hand on all the papers.
I was gonna say, like, some people use
like
some people use like the Grim Reaper or whatever, going knocking on the door.
Oh, that. Oh yeah, I've seen that one before too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can explain my reason as to why I said it's one of the greatest OSs. I'm not sure if you want me to wait.
No, you can go. I'm still got
okay. So the reason as to why I said it was one of the greatest OSs during that video is because it was easy to adopt. You could install it on just about anything. Even, it has its parallels with Windows 7, even if it's not as perfect as Windows 7 Ultimate. And the performance on Windows 10 isn't bad. It could have been better, but it isn't bad. Like, there's telemetry, there's Microsoft stores, all that stuff, but you can easily disable all that stuff without, like, your computer having problems. On Windows 11, if you try to do all that stuff, try to disable, like, try to remove Copilot, not just disable it, you can break the OS, and they want you to no longer make local accounts, which is something that Windows 7 and Windows 10 both supported. So it was one of the greater OSs that they made, but now they had traded that off for an OS that is garbage.
I'm sorry. Maybe, okay, so why don't we back up a bit? All right, chart of Windows. I'll try to do I have the right pen selected? I think I do. All right. So I'll say we'll assume everybody is like, I don't know, I'll put like 98. I don't know, maybe like, I'm just throwing stuff out at this point. NT, like XP. XP 7, 8, 8.1, 10, 11. Okay. And we'll just use this top part as that is the worst line in the world. Oh my gosh. Just use this top. You can't even see what I'm doing. I'm so sorry. I'm talking as if you can see, because everyone else can see, but you can't see. All right.
I can see your stream.
Oh, you're just watching stream.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so bad.
I just have a little bit of delay.
Just a little bit of a delay, but I don't want a delay. All right. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Let's just say 98. I think both you and I have used 98. We'll just use as a baseline.
Yeah.
Okay. It went a little down here. The 2000s was not the greatest for Windows, especially the infamous demos. That tells you enough about how people feel about that time. Say XP was, was a little better, right?
Yeah.
I think
Especially Y2K.
Y2K XP.
Yeah, it's when didn't it happen with XP or was it before that?
No, that was like way before.
Oh, okay.
What?
For some reason I
It
associate
was like
that with
the
XP.
2000s. It was like Y2K was like done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot Vista. I'll throw Vista in there too.
Yeah, Vista existed.
Existed. Okay, that was definitely not great. The funny thing is too, I'm not that much of I know people like to make a lot of assumptions, but I'm not a gamer. I think that shocks people. I'm not that much of a gamer. I mean, I play video games occasionally, but usually I just don't have time. Or I'd rather do something else with my time, like find like rip CDs of Linux ISOs. Gotta caught myself there. All right.
Yeah, you gotta get some stuff.
I have to get my Linux
personal
ISOs.
collection.
Yeah,
out of your personal collection.
Like how I'm one of the only people who has all of the Yu-Gi-Oh soundtrack on CD because I'm a crazy person. And you have to rip it off of CDs because you can only buy the CDs in Japan and during like a really limited time period when they first came out in like 2007 or whenever year it was for whatever thing. It's like awful, horrible. Vista, terrible. I think everyone agrees Vista was terrible. 7 I think is like somewhat redeeming, but it wasn't great because they still forced everyone to use Aero Glass. I vividly remember having to deal with my mom's computer and like has the bubbles like screensaver. Which is still in Windows, by the way.
You weren't exactly forced to use it. You could have went to the performance mode, changed it, and it would have given you like the Windows 98 theme.
Yeah,
instead.
I guess.
That's what I'd use.
It still didn't. I looked, but it didn't really change that much.
It made things run a little quicker.
Just a little, like
a little snappier.
That was also like the weird era when like I was also like a very late adopter of 7. I only started using 7 like I want to say 2011 or 12. So like I'm not a good example of. I stayed on Windows XP for like a really long time, and then this is the first turn, which I would say is when we get. Can I? Yeah, you have to use this thing and just move everything out of here. Oh wait, it's not the same. Yeah, okay, just move this down over here.
Is this Krita?
This is Krita. I'm just
okay.
I'm just.
That's fine. I was using Krita earlier.
And then 8, I think everyone agrees is like. Is this an erasing?
8 was bad.
Is this an eraser? How come I can't? I can't. What happened?
The brush is the.
I am on the brush. What did I do? Oh, because it's selected.
Oh, yeah, you're still on the selection. You got to unselect it. Yeah.
First day. All right. The chart's a little off, but whatever. 8, and then 8 goes like somewhere down here. Okay, this is when I said, yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with Windows 7. And then Windows 8.1 is like somewhere here. It's still Windows 8, but it's not bad. But I want to stop right here, and I want to say the reason I moved to Linux was because of Windows 8 in a weird way, in a very weird, convoluted way. And I think people from this era of history can probably understand. Because on the Windows 8, I mean, I'm not gonna say what I I'm saying right now is original at the time. It's not. There's a bunch of other people who said the exact same thing. I just don't think it was to the same magnitude. There's still a bunch of people who say, oh, well, Linux could have grown in Windows Vista. Yeah, right. If you ever tried using Linux back then, you would know that was fantasy.
Linux in like 2016, no joke. At least from my perspective, when I was trying out Ubuntu at the time, it was garbage. Nowadays it's really good and I like it, but back then I was still
2016.
like on
All
the
right,
Windows
so
thing.
we'll get there when we get there. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so 8.1 is like somewhere the chart is like the axes on this chart is like reading like a chart from Intel. It's like broken, or like this. This is I should just delete the bottom part. This is 8.1. Okay, it's like somewhere like there. Okay, like because like Windows was like also Microsoft was about to go bankrupt, which is like a why because they bet everything on Windows and the Windows Phone, which is like wild to think about. I don't know if
Yeah, the
there's
Windows
a
Phone.
podcast with Steve Ballmer. He did with Acquired. Normally, I would never recommend Acquired. I think they're horrible and they're just a bunch of shills. And also, it's 3 hours, but apparently, I'm the only one of an attention span on the planet who listens to like stuff like this.
I
But
watched an entire Mega Man timeline, and that was like an 8 hour thing. But I
what's
wasn't like watching it with sound. I was watching it with like subtitles because I was at work.
wait? You weren't wait. You were watching it with
Yeah.
the auto generated subtitles.
No, not auto generated. I don't know. No, like the actual subtitles.
What do you mean? Like
Like like like it's not auto generated. It
someone
was
made
the
them?
there was subtitle like the subtitles were accurate to the audio is all I'm
Oh,
gonna say, at least to my understanding.
so
I
auto
don't know if they're
generated.
auto. I don't know if they like. I feel like that's a different thing now. Like the subtitles, like I read it as I'm working. Oh
You just had it open. Okay, you
yeah,
were doing something
yeah.
else and you were just
I was just looking at it and
but
reading it because I
you
couldn't like have
muted it.
audio as I'm working. Yeah, it's muted.
Oh,
Yeah,
because you work. That you were at work or
yeah. So I
whatever.
was working, and I was like, "This is perfect. I can spend an entire workday having this on."
Okay, I get you. All right.
Yeah.
Uh so Windows 8 I would argue is the reason why I was desperately looking for a way out. Um at the time, I think anyone can attest to this, Linux was still not great. I think I also,
Yeah.
by the time I started looking, was also the same time Linux Mint got hacked. So yeah, maybe
It got
not.
hacked?
This is back in like 2014 or something. Like
Oh,
Linux
fuck.
Mint got their WordPress servers hacked, and then someone vandalized their ISOs, and then like planted like some sort of virus in the ISOs. It was like
Yeah.
and then the guy who hacked them basically said to like Zach Whitaker, who wrote for ZDNet at the time, he's now independent. Then he wrote for TechCrunch. Now he's independent. He basically said he was like, yeah, if you check the checksums, you would know that it was hacked. But like, he's like, who checks the checksums under ISOs?
That is a good point. Brody brought that up a long time, like a couple months back when he was doing a video, and he's like, nobody checks the checksums. They just download the video. They
I
just
mean,
download
I
the
know how to
ISO.
check checksums on Windows, but that's because I'm a crazy person.
I know how to check it. I mean, you could check it with PowerShell. Yeah,
Yeah,
you could do that.
it's the PowerShell. There's a PowerShell that does it. And
You
it
can
does this
also
like
do it with
get
Terminal, I think, too.
and what
Linux.
terminal? Oh well, I mean, yeah, you can do it on Linux too. Um, I know how to do GPG keys because yeah, I did a video on that. Um, not fun. I don't know the
Oh,
people who are like, oh well, we should just use GPG. No, 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 it's
same
horrible.
people. Might be the same
You're
people
literally
who are
insane.
arguing with Brody on Linux about Rust.
What is it like? What is it like? Yeah, I cannot. I literally cannot. Um, so at the time I was looking for a way out, but I just couldn't feasibly
Mhm.
see a way out. But Windows 7, 10-year lifespan is from 2009. I said, okay, I have until 2019 to come up with a solution, right?
Yeah.
So I'll just, this is like 2014-ish. I'll wait it out, right? We'll wait it out, see what happens. Then Windows 10 happens. And then that's what I would argue goes like somewhere down here. The
That's where it
reason
starts out. It gets better though.
No. I say it gets worse. And
Oh,
this is the big qualm that I had of your video. Maybe it's just how I feel about this personally. I'm also a horribly biased source, and this is just what I remember, and maybe this is all I think about when I think about my computer, but this is how I see it anyway. I think Windows 10 did a lot of good things to sort of. The reason they did it was to bring back some of the stuff that people knew from Windows 7, but also pacify the rogue group in Microsoft that wanted Metro everything, and then Windows Phone was phased out in like 2018 or whatever. 2018, 2017? Something like that. That was when Windows Phone was phased out. And that's why the Windows 10 start menu had like tiles. And then like in Windows 11 they finally got rid of that crap because like no one wants that. But that existed in Windows 10 because there was a faction in Microsoft that really, really, really wanted it. It's like the same faction in Nintendo that believes you should use motion controls on everything, and they're just delusional.
God.
Like,
The gyroscope on the 3DS.
That's the best way I have to describe it, because when you describe this when it's something other than video games, people are just like, huh? What is that? It's like
Well, you have to like understand like where I'm coming from with this. Like I'm a power user with when it came to Windows. So I wouldn't use the
Define
normal
power user.
regular I get the most like change all your settings that way you get the most maximum performance out of your OS. And then you go even further than that and you change the start menu to classic start. And then everything that was like very snappy, running really quickly.
Wait, you were one of the classic start menu users?
Yeah.
Classic shell. I liked Vista start menu.
So, and you could change the theming of it to like be whatever you wanted it to be.
Oh, I didn't.
Like on Windows 11, you have to go through like a dodgy way of doing it, but like
I didn't care about that. My mom got ahead of me though before I did, and she changed everything to be pink. The arrow
classic
glass
shell was
pink
like,
or whatever.
Yeah. Like Windows Vista was really good when it came to theming. People love that. And that got like changed. That got moved over to like other distros later on. The problem with like Windows 8 was like they wanted everything to be like, got to use the touchscreen on our new touchscreen laptops. Got to press the tiles. Or laptops can also double as a tablet. And
you want to hear
what are you doing?
What I think about Windows 8? I think this is. I think I don't think people would call this unpopular, but I think in retrospect, I think this is where I've come to think about Windows 8. I think Windows 8 was the beginning of the end, but it was also Microsoft moving too fast in a weird way. Like,
yeah, so could have used a little bit more time in the oven.
No, it's not time in the oven. It's they had a concept, and like also like remember this is back when like the iPhone. This was like what the iPhone like 4 or whatever. It's like that didn't have the same kind of weight it does now, right? So like if they had maybe done it like a few years later, how different would history have been? And I think history maybe would have been a little more kind, but also Microsoft is also going bankrupt, and that also is a factor. I need to actually read chat because I have not been reading chat. Can't read. I need to like. There's probably 10 bajillion comments and I can't read them because the font is so small. There's probably some CSS thing to fix that. But I would argue 10 was when I said I'm not dealing with this anymore. 10 was actually 8 was the push. 10 is me going off the cliff. I was like, okay, I don't want to deal with Windows anymore. This is why when you said Windows 10 was one of the better ones, really irritated me because a lot of the stuff that people hate about Windows 11 started in Windows 10. So, for example, one of the things that started, wrong button. One of the things that started in Windows 10 was accounts. That's a horrible handwriting. Accounts. All the forced account stuff started in, I want to say 18. One of the 18s. One of the 18 releases was when like the accounts thing started, but you could, it was still like Apple where you could click off of it and it's like, they try to spook you and they're like, but you could have a limited experience. You're getting a worse experience for doing this.
Quote unquote worse experience, even though you're getting the same experience you would have gotten off of Windows 8, 8.1 and 7 and XP and 98. It would have in Vista, it would have been the same experience, and it was optional for like quite a long time, especially with Windows 10. So that's why you could argue that, yeah, Windows 10 was better than 11 because 11 is now forcing everybody to
Yeah,
hook
but
up
10 is where
to
it
the
all. But see,
mainframe.
but you see my logic here. 10 is where it all got started,
I understand.
and
Yeah,
then
that's where the
here.
bad
But
habits
here's the other.
start.
But here's the other crazy part. Do you want to know what
Yeah,
started before Windows 10, and why I say 10 was also a really bad version of Windows? You want to know what started before Windows 10, and which was also part of the beginning of the end? Ads. Where in the equation
yeah,
did Microsoft start putting in ads? It wasn't in 10. It was back in Windows 8. Was when good
yeah,
old ads started being thrown into the start menu. Like,
yeah. And I mean, I could see like where that's an issue and stuff like that. But you have to like understand like what the feature set is, especially with what they were offering at the time. Like right now, they're offering probably an arguably worse experience than what Windows 8.1 gave people. Like, at least with Windows 8.1, you could click off of, you don't have to use any of the tiles. Click on the main thing, and you basically have a similar looking like desktop as if you were like on Windows 7.
yeah,
So
but the
it's like,
telemetry started in Windows 8 as well, and
yeah,
that's yet another thing,
you
right? That
could
people
disable
attribute
it,
to
but the
10
average
but
user won't
started
do
in
that.
8, which no
Yeah,
one will do,
I see where you're coming
right?
from. Yeah,
So like
yeah.
that's my argument of why I don't think Windows 10 was all that good. I think it's just progressing in a way it's like
Oh yeah,
two
that's how
steps
e-shitification
forward,
works.
7 steps
Yeah.
back. Like that's
Yeah, like I'm not saying, yeah, you're not wrong at all. But what I'm saying is like it was one of the greatest OSs that they made because you gotta have to consider people like 98, people like XP, people like 7 and 7 Ultimate, and then people like 10 because 10 was kind of similar to 7 in a lot of ways if you didn't like use all the Microsoft account bullshit and disabled telemetry and all that other stuff. Now it's being forced on you. Now it's giving you an arguably worse experience. Most of their code now, instead of it being like made by a team, it's being vibe coded essentially,
do
from
you
what I
have proof
found
of
out.
this?
Hmm?
You have proof? I haven't seen any
I've, I've,
substantial
I've,
proof to prove this.
I've seen posts
That
of people
doesn't
saying
mean
that they use
anything.
AI.
That doesn't mean anything. Anyone can say
Mm.
that. I need proof. This is what I mean. I need like this is
Let
what
me see if I can.
sorry, this is what happens when I go down a rabbit hole. It's like
It's fine.
I want the proof of everything.
The CEO is the one that said 30% of their code's AI.
That's Satya Nadella, and Satya Nadella doesn't know how to program anything. I have video evidence of Satya Nadella not knowing what the eyes emoji on GitHub means. Like,
Really?
yes, he literally, if you watch all of the events like I do, you realize how little many, like, unironically, people
Mhm.
give Elon a lot of crap, but do you want to know what Elon at least somewhat understands that many other CEOs don't? He at least has like some rough idea in his little pea brain what an engineer does, right? Like many of the other CEOs like don't understand that. Like and it's very obvious like when you see how they like present things. And to be fair to the CEOs, you know, it's like there's only so much they can do because they're just given a
Yeah.
script by I don't know some committee that says you need to say all of these things and you need to say exactly these things because if you don't our stock price is going to tank. Like which is why like every time like most of these CEOs get on stage they sound like robots and it's because a marketing committee decided what they're supposed to say so the stock price doesn't tank. Like that's which you know if you're in their position understandable, right? But like
Mhm.
you know, it's also makes them very risk averse and also, you know, very disconnected from society. Like, you know, it's like when what was it? It's like and there's like it's clear that like they don't actually understand. They don't actually no, none of them actually understand. Like I think like the only if you were to trick one big tech CEO to like sympathize with you, the only one who probably would be Sundar Pichai and everyone else would just not. Like if they were given the opportunity to do so of no consequences, they shoot you in the back of the head in the dark alley and they would do it if it would benefit them. Like and Sundar
I mean, yeah,
as well,
they
despite
would.
being a
They would.
businessman and probably doing some sleazy stuff backstage, which may or may not have been in a conference call at CNBC back when Google Bard was
Yeah.
failing out of the at launch. People said that was like one of the few instances where Sundar actually got like mad, like and that's actually really telling to me because like you don't really, you know, you can kind of understand that, but if he doesn't get mad very often, you know, that's fine. You know, at least his emotions are in check, right?
Mhm.
Like You know,
Oh yeah.
not like
Yeah. Yeah.
go on. Okay, I'm gonna read chat. Give me a sec.
All right. I mean,
We can
I'm basically just explaining like what I've known or what I've seen online as well. Like
online or experienced, right? Because like I prefer to like go by like what you experience rather than like what you see online because I think that's really risky. like
hmm,
like when I choose to make a video, it's usually comes from some element of what's a problem that I experience? Can someone else experience that problem? What does that mean? Right? What does that mean? How can we solve it? Right? It needs to be something that you can like tangibly experience or indirectly experience, right? But like if it's something that someone else had online, when someone says, "Oh, my Windows broke my hard drive," it's like that could mean anything. It's like, well, you could just
well,
have
yeah,
had
I
a
mean,
bad hard
yeah,
drive,
that could
right? You
definitely do
could
that. Yeah.
like maybe
Yeah,
it
I
was
mean,
a bad
I guess
update.
it's
I
like
don't know.
I guess it's. I mean, I guess it would be more like a combination of like both. I've had my fair share of issues with Windows myself, especially with driver timeouts and
Driver
random stuff like.
timeouts?
Yeah. So this was like shortly before I moved to Linux, but I was playing a game called Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, and I was using an AMD GPU, and I kept refreshing the driver, kept reinstalling the driver, and the driver support on Windows for AMD at the time for like RDNA 3
Horrible.
horrible, and it pissed me off. And I was like, you know what? Let me let me put Linux on my gaming computer.
Yeah, I had a Radeon like pre
Oh
2011. Yeah. I relate. This is not a great experience.
yeah, it's also kind of crazy that like at the same time Windows is having all these problems, Linux is like, yeah, it just works.
Well, I that we'll get to that point when we get there.
That's based on my experience. It was just working, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is
We'll get
amazing."
there when we get there.
Yeah, we will.
Uh
I mean, we don't have to agree on everything, but
uh
at least we understand.
wow, this is we're not even past like halfway the first page. All right.
Nah, it's fine. I've got plenty of time.
We all have plenty of time. It's a weekend.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
2 seconds later I put in quotes getting a new computer. I think because you said getting a new computer, maybe. I don't know.
So
Yeah, go on.
with that is a lot of desktops can't update to Windows 11, and Microsoft puts out an ad basically saying to buy our computer with Windows 11, and a lot of people are like,
Would you
probably
like me to tell you the secret about those ads?
what? What's the secret?
They're made by Microsoft's interns, and it's very obvious.
That makes a lot of sense.
So,
And
do you want me to tell you? Well, do you want me to tell you why I know this?
did you used to be a Microsoft intern?
No.
Okay.
Everyone always asks me that. They always ask me if I'm like a disgruntled like big tech employee. I'm not. I've never worked for any of the FANG companies in my entire life. So,
You're like Batman.
Batman? No.
Yeah.
That's another question people always had. Like people wonder like why is he hiding his face? Is he like a stockbroker or something? Like some shadow
No,
investor or
I'm a
something?
VTuber as well.
They think I'm like some sort of like secret investor or whatever. It's like, I mean, I have investments. I don't want to say anything on the internet because
Yeah.
technically, I'm not a financial advisor. What I say is not financial advice, but I may or may not have bought thousands of dollars of Cloudflare and made bank off of
Ooh,
it.
that's crazy.
Last week because you can sell because outages are temporary and stocks will eventually rebound because that's the capitalism economy we live in.
Ooh,
But
yeah.
that is not financial advice. This is past
Cloudflare.
information.
That's an interesting company.
Yeah, it's like buying. It's like how you may or may not have bought CrowdStrike the week they had their naughty incident.
I didn't have to work that day.
I mean, the day
It's
Cloudflare went down, we could only access Outlook. It was very sad.
I
But
was
also,
only in
my
Microsoft Teams,
my
and I
company,
didn't get any calls for like a whole day, and I was like,
yeah,
"Oh,
my company is Microsoft. They're all in on Microsoft. So
yeah, yeah." My company uses Microsoft as well, but I've always made the suggestion of At the very least, use Zorin OS.
No, I wouldn't.
It
even
can
do
work.
that. No, wouldn't do that. Here's what you do instead. All right.
Yeah.
It's take the IT guy out to lunch, give him, a little pat on the back, right, and get friendly of them, right, and then just slowly start whispering things into their ear every now and again to try to like nudge them in the direction that you want. If you catch my drift.
Uh-huh.
I may or may not have
Seduce
convinced
the IT guy.
and then I may or may not have convinced someone in the IT department to move to Bazite for his personal computer because he got sick and tired of whatever Intune was doing for like his like workstation thing or what. Was it Intune? I don't remember what it was.
That reminds
It was something
me.
stupid.
I've been telling my cousin to use Linux because he was showing me his ROG Ally X, and he goes to
He's
boot up
using
the
the
Last of
Windows
Us Part
version.
2.
Sad.
Yeah, he goes to boot up the Last of Us Part 2, and it takes like 15 minutes before it could boot. And I'm like, if you were using Linux, this probably wouldn't have
minutes.
This wouldn't have taken that long.
15
because-
minutes. Also,
sitting
wait,
here
hang on. Well, I
sitting
heard that
telling
part. Hang on, I heard that part was terrible.
It is, but he
Was that part of
he
it?
likes graphics above gameplay.
Oh, well, I mean, doing
Yeah.
that on a handheld is probably what killed the performance there.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's also background processes running that don't exist on Linux, so
Yeah, we're Steam Deck households.
yeah.
People goof off of Stardew Valley. Just hope they don't discover the romance
Good
system a little too early. Why are you laughing? You know it's true.
I don't have Stardew Valley. I almost bought Graveyard Keeper though.
I don't know what that is.
It's like Stardew Valley, but you're keeping a graveyard instead of a
Yeah,
farm.
that's not good for children. Well, I will make the assumption that's not good for children.
It's 2D.
The Binding of Isaac is also 2D, and that's definitely not for children. All right, back to the chart.
Yeah.
11,
Yeah.
I would say is like some loop-de-loop, but like down here.
It's like off the graph. It is.
People say
Into the
that, but I
void.
don't see that. Like, if that makes sense. It's just down. It's just.
Oh, it could get worse when they release
You just-
Windows 12.
It's still down. Windows 12. That's not going to happen in another 10 years. You know that, right?
Yeah,
I can confidently say they're not going to release another version of
but
Windows.
I could
for a
see
very
them
long
releasing
time.
an edition just to test the waters of Windows 11.
Why would they need to do that? They would just have to make a patch, just change week D that week. That's all
Just
I
think
have to
about this. Think about this. You got all these computers who can't run Windows 11, but if they get it to run it via a Microsoft subscription via the cloud through their web browser, they can then run Windows 11
You want me to
that
give
way.
you a counterpoint to why I don't think that's true?
Yeah.
It's too expensive, both for Microsoft and for the person that's subscribing. That's what, because I think Microsoft would like that, but they can't because it's too expensive for them to offer something like that. Which is why they charge that portion of people's subscriptions a lot more. And the reason I know this is because I remember the first Windows event where I saw that. Like, that was a 2021 Windows event with Panos Panay and some CGI living room. And there was many stupid things said in that event. Like, one of that was just like a footnote and like, oh, this is a thing you can do now. But it was like, that was back when it was like in preview. It wasn't like actually like, it wasn't like it wasn't GA yet. But what happened was, during that event, there was one woman, Wangui McKelvey, who's I don't know what happened to her. She just disappeared. I think she got laid off or something or left. I don't know. She said something incredibly stupid. I think I have a clip of this somewhere on my channel where she just said like she said something along the lines of she's like, I thought Windows 10 was the last version of Windows. What happened? Well, my friends, a global pandemic happened, and I died laughing. I'm like, there is no way they said that. It was literally like, they were like, yeah, we made Windows 11 to capitalize on the global pandemic and the crisis that was the 2020 pandemic. Wow. I died laughing.
Any sense? What are they on?
I was
They're-
like,
they're
that
de-
was so great. I'm
oh my
telling you,
god,
I watch many Microsoft events. I
I
remember
believe
stuff
you.
about them. Like
I believe you.
I think I have a. They took that video down, but I have a copy. I think CNET has a copy too. I don't know what happened to
Ooh,
CNET's copy. I think CNET just summarized it. They didn't actually like show the whole thing. I don't know how they get away with it. Actually, I don't even know if Microsoft copyrights their stuff, but I still just edit around it just to be safe.
yeah.
Like, because you never know. Um, the other thing is that is also the one of the events where David Weston shows up for like I don't know if it was the first time, but it was definitely one of the first flagship events that he was in, and that explain. Then when he started explaining like the secure element stuff in Pluton, I was like, oh, okay, it all makes sense now.
Oh,
Like that was when oh, now I understand why they want Windows 11. It's not because the pandemic's part of it, but that wasn't really why. It just made it go faster. It wasn't because of like some sort of like, oh, we need to make Windows look prettier. It's because they wanted to change the hardware requirements of Windows. And like
yeah.
all of a sudden that just clicked in my head. I'm like, that makes so much sense. But how come they weren't upfront about this in the stupid event where Panos is in some CGI white hellhole trying to explain like what Windows is and how like it relates to his family at home? Like they didn't explain
What?
at all during oh, you don't know. The 2021
Windows saved my life.
No. He said Windows is like me going back to my childhood home. This is not a joke. He actually,
What?
you can go find this on the Windows YouTube channel. He literally said, going to Windows is like me going back to my childhood home. This is why Panos is insane. Like, apparently, according to some people who knew him at Microsoft, they said he may or may not have had a really big ego and was really tough to work with. Like, but yet he was like I don't know, it's like he wants to make Microsoft be the premium products, but then like he just can't because like Microsoft doesn't do anything of hardware and never wins at all of hardware. So he left to go to Amazon, who doesn't win with hardware at all, but at least they somewhat respect him. Like
I feel like that statement would be more true if they made like an old school Windows machine. And it's like, oh, it looks like Windows. It looks like an old Windows 98 machine, but it's like an HD CRT looking monitor, and they have like the latest Windows on it with like a Windows 98 theme. Like that could be like, oh, it's good. Like,
why would people want that though? Just saying, why would people want that?
Enthusiasts. It's the same reason why people want to have like the old school.
But enthusiasts are a very small
cases.
Percentage when you can still, remove all the crap and it's still not great, but you're still functionally getting the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the start menu is not the same anymore, where you have like you have to click on the tiny little box that says apps in order to show.
Oh god, the start menu. They want to replace your file explorer when you click on the start menu to like search for things with AI. That is.
Oh,
it was already bad. Why make it worse?
I would be very careful of that because that feature is not available to the public. But also, when I saw them do it at Microsoft Ignite, holy crap! I was like, they were like, they show like, oh, you can tell the AI to do this thing on your computer. But they show the pop. But they show the pop up, and the person who's piloting the demo intentionally clicks on allow once, but not allow forever, which I thought was really interesting. I'm like, wait. So
they were doing it was like,
but it only it's not a commercial. It was just during Microsoft Ignite. This is a developer conference. So like they only showed it. No. They only showed it for like 2 seconds. Like I'm like, whoa, wait, go back. I was like, nope. They just kept moving on. I'm like, that is such a waste. Like if you want to like put like an IT person at ease, it's like, hey, how are you using our data, right? It's like, or how are you like, what is Microsoft doing to like preserve our company's secrets and whatnot, right? It's like, it's like I would have lingered on that a little more, but 2 seconds is not enough time. I mean, you could have done 10, but oh my gosh, yeah. What is it? The CGI living room. Yeah, you know it. It's literally every Microsoft event. Every event that Gerald Spataro does. Yeah, CGI living room. Like, yeah, we have AI in Microsoft Office now. CGI living room. All of it. All of the Microsoft events they're all in like some sort of like weird CGI thing. And then like except when they do live events when they're just in a venue. Like, and then they thought, oh well, we could escape all of the people who are protesting our event if we just moved it out of Seattle, right? You moved to San Francisco. That's probably not the best place to go if you're trying to dodge protesters.
Yeah.
You could have gone to like, I don't know, Sioux Falls or something. I don't know. Is that even a good example? Probably not. I don't even know if there are any good venues in Sioux Falls. There probably are.
I don't even know.
Yeah, this is Windows has been getting worse. It all started with Windows 8, and it's just like this is just a downward. Windows 10 and 11 are just the downward trend. This is also not counting stuff like privacy invasions, because all the privacy invasion stuff didn't start getting picked up on until the EU started auditing Windows 10, and the Dutch and Irish Data Authority docked Microsoft a couple of $1 million, and then they had to actually add in those toggles that they have in the Windows installer, which don't actually do anything.
Yeah, you have to go to the services and go attempt to turn them off, and then whenever they do a Windows update, magically gets turned back on.
And then that was all. Thanks, Terry Myers, and that's exactly what I want in Windows. There's also, this is also dredging something out of like a very obscure area. It was asked to. He is not the marketing manager of Microsoft anymore. It was what's his name? Paul Thurrott interviewed Chris Capicella. Okay, his name is Chris Capicella. Doesn't work at Microsoft anymore. He left last year. I want to say last year or 2 years ago. He left pretty recently, and he asked him, why can't you pay to get rid of the ads? And then he said, well, if you paid to get rid of the ads, it's like admitting it's a bad experience. And it's like, yeah, because it is a bad experience, you clod. Like, he danced around it very gracefully. But, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like the only way to really get past it is if you end up using like some sort of like, extension, and then you might be able to avoid that, but most people aren't going to do that.
Someone said, I watched a Berserk 2-hour recap in 2 sittings. What's Berserk? Is it a game?
Berserk is a there's games for Berserk. It's a very medieval.
Okay, it's a video game.
Dark fantasy.
23 hours. What are people doing with time?
It's not so much that it's a video game. There's like mangas, and there's like
wow, you're a manga. You
like
say
animes.
Manga? Ooh.
Yeah, it's manga.
You said manga.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Manga.
I shouldn't laugh at that.
I pronounce and say things wrong. It happens.
Yeah, Windows 10 is awful. Was not good. I don't know why anyone said it was good. I don't think it was good. Windows 11 has more market share than Windows 10. Rests on the enterprise and not normal people. Yeah, because the majority of Windows 10 users are all businesses, and that'll
100%
in the next couple of years.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think you said, oh yeah, Windows 11 is the worst performing version of Windows. I disagree with that. I think Windows 8 was the worst performing version of Windows. Because I think when a lot of people saw it, they just said, yeah, no thanks. The place I was working at the time, like, tried to evade Windows 8, like, at as much as possible. Like they literally.
When I was saying that, I was specifically talking about 8.1.
No, they also
the reason why
8.1 too.
Yeah, but like you gotta think about it like this, like on Windows 11, like the fact that they're pushing accounts and there's so much more bloat than Windows 8 had. It's crazy.
But worse performing, I would still say Windows 8 is like, in terms of like performance of like how Windows is doing. I'd say Windows is like this, except like this dip right here is like Windows 8. Like,
Windows 11 is pretty comparable, though. Like I would say it's pretty comparable
I
because
actually
like
don't think it's comparable at all. I think
mm,
Windows 11 in a convoluted way, um, when you analyze it as a product, I think it's in some ways better than 8, because it fulfills the core user base, which is like somewhere here, of like the people who want who have used computers for like their entire lives and are just like, yeah, we want
mhm.
everything to be the same. But it also needs to be like different to push Microsoft's vision and do a bunch of other things. And I know people don't like
I was
that,
talking
but like
about
that's
like performance. Like how well is this
performance.
computer running when you're using it as like a normal user?
I mean,
And I don't think
doesn't
Windows
run great,
11.
but
Yeah, I don't think Windows 11 is doing too good running stuff. Like especially in its current state. Like Windows 8 and 8.1,
I
sure it
don't
had
know. I
like
think
its own fair share of bloat, but like it
11 is the
still
one
would
I
run
enjoyed the
things.
most. I don't want to say I enjoy it, but like definitely in terms of stability, they've done a lot to improve stability.
Uh, I hate it.
Especially in terms of update stability. It's still not great, but it's better than it was. In
I think it's worse than 10.
terms of update stability,
Yeah, in terms of updates. Like I think it's worse than
I
10.
think it's gotten more unpredictable, but I don't think it's gotten less stable.
Mm.
Like
I definitely don't
because
like the
they've
decisions.
been shuffling stuff around the update branches, which I
Uh,
know people have gotten who watch Windows have gotten very mad about.
yeah.
Um,
I just don't like a lot of their decisions on
uh,
like Windows 11.
what was it? I think you meant in my notes. All right, let's start on the next one. Talking point, okay? Because I think this is enough about Windows market share. This is
Yeah.
there's not really a whole lot here, and I don't think Windows market share is honestly worth talking about like ever. Maybe call me weird. It's like talking about Linux market share. Who cares? Like there hasn't been the whole thing is a monopoly anyway. Why should we care about market share? In a weird way. Like, why should we care about market share? Because the whole thing's a monopoly anyway. It's like Windows is like what 88%, and then Mac OS has been like 12% for the last 22 years. It's like it's like
Yeah.
what really big difference is there? Why should we care about market share? I'm not saying that
It's just
doesn't mean
a
you should make a good
fun thing to say every
experience.
now and then. Yeah.
Yeah, but if just because it's a fun thing to say doesn't mean that it's like necessary. If that makes sense, that's how I view it
Yeah.
anyway. Like
It's not like
it's
it's not a huge talking point at the moment. Yeah.
it shouldn't. Well, that's my point. Is it shouldn't be. Um, and then yeah. So we'll move on. You cited this is at 3:26 in the video. You cited an article. I did not know what the article you mentioned. You showed the article on screen, and I had to. I hate to rag on you for this, but I do this with everyone. If you show an
Mhm.
article in a video and you don't link the article, I have to like go. I have to hunt down the article, like, and actually read it myself, and then look into the guy who actually wrote the article. This is how I function. Okay.
Yeah.
So the article that you cited is from Windows Latest. It's something about something something. Microsoft details. Windows 11 recall AI privacy security IT record it records screen. I'm just reading the URL. If you couldn't tell, I don't actually open it here. Um, um, there's the one thing that like was a red flag to me, and I can actually say this. The article is
Mhm.
written by Mayank Parmar. I don't I think that's how you pronounce his name. Um, uh, and he mentions like one disk encryption article like 3 times, like in the article. I'm like, are you trying to trick me into clicking on something? Because this is the sort of thing that I notice. Also, fun fact about
Uh,
Mayank Parmar: I believe he was a contributor or is a contributor to Bleeping Computer. I think could be wrong. But there's someone who has at least has a very similar first name, and I think he is also a Bleeping Computer.
I see.
Um,
Yeah.
because
If I look up an article, I should link it next time.
But
So
you said you
I
found
didn't
the
think
art.
about doing.
But you said you found the
Huh?
article. This is the other thing. You say you found the article on Twitter. Hold up, boy. Why are we getting news on Twitter? Like, it's like I'm sorry. Like I don't I don't know. Maybe because I live in ignorant bliss of news, but I don't get my news off of YouTube or social media or uh, anything like that. I just open my RSS feed, and if something looks interesting, I'll talk about it. But usually, there's nothing to talk about. This tech news is horribly boring, or it's just like background stuff that it's like, hey,
Yeah,
maybe you should be
I did.
aware of this.
I did
Or
find it off Twitter. I just didn't link it because
.co.
so I didn't think about doing that.
What is it? I give everyone grief about this.
It's fine.
This is
I can take the criticism. It's okay.
uh
It's how we get better.
but because you found this article, you said this is the first time you heard recall. Was this article on Twitter?
Yeah, and I quote tweet it, and I remember if it's the same article.
Yeah, I think because that's
I quote tweeted. I said, "This is spyware."
I have very many complicated feelings of recall, and there's still many people,
I don't
some
like
of whom
it.
who are moderators in the discords of very big YouTubers who hated me for saying this. But the truth of the matter is I don't think recall is that bad of a concern, and I think that's what I think should scare. Like people get really mad at me for saying stuff like this, but that's how I feel about it anyway, and I think that's how most people should feel about it. It's not like an end of the world situation. If anything, I think it's actually like a major annoyance, in that it's not a privacy concern. It's actually more of a concern for it's an annoyance for your computer functioning, assuming you choose to use it. And the reason why I say it's an annoyance is because in order for recall to function, it has to take screenshots of your computer, sure, whatever. But the problem is those screenshots are accelerated using the NPU of your computer. And the reason why and the reason why I knew about this when I made the video that I did, which is what everyone got mad at, was it's a video, it shows a TikTok. In the video, I cited a TikTok from Scott Hanselman, who I will say right now is a biased source because he's a VP at Microsoft. He also was a
TikTok.
YouTube channel.
Hold up. TikTok.
What about TikTok?
I think it's in a similar boat with Twitter sometimes.
No, I'm talking about what a piece of information that I had before I started talking about recall. And maybe because I'm a crazy person, I look up all these things because again, I believe before you make a video on something, I always try to look up, like, exhaust, like, every little bit of every little thing. And
like, where's the information coming from?
Right.
And,
so one of the things is people said, oh, well, it's phoning home. Well, there's no proof. At release of recall, there was no proof. Even now, I'm not sure there is conclusive proof of that either. But I haven't looked too deeply into it. But also, many people don't own those computers, just because one, hardware is even more expensive because I wasn't anticipating. By the time I set up all of this, I wasn't anticipating RAM prices to skyrocket even more. So you're probably going to get charged an additional $400 to buy your computer now instead of like $1,800 or $2,000.
Yeah.
Like, so now it's like $2,200 for like one of those computers.
Yeah.
So I wasn't anticipating that, but the whole idea is that I want to put out is recall. In that video, Scott Hanselman has Task Manager open, and he shows he just has like he does, I forget what the key combination is, where like you can scroll through like your recall timeline, and he shows that when you do that, you see like a spike in Task Manager, which shows like NPU usage on the graph in Task Manager, right? So like, which is proof that like when recall is functioning, right, it's using your NPU. But my problem with that is, if this thing is taking screenshots of your computer every second, that means your computer is getting hammered by your NPU the whole time. That's not good. I don't want that. That means performance is being taken out of your computer because it's taking screenshots, and it's going to drain CPU cycles out of your computer. Now, to be fair, CPUs run like, they're designed to run at like 100% like all the time, 24/7, 365, but still, like I was like, that's crazy. The other crazy thing was what's his name? Yusef Mehdi's on stage, and he's like, yeah, this is what it does. And then like they just say that and then just move on. And then I'm like, hang on, Microsoft.
Yeah.
You already have a ton of privacy concerns. You just move on from this. It's like you don't get to move on from this. That wasn't the worst thing of that event. No one watched that event except me apparently. But a billion other things happened at that event. One of them was like some AI Minecraft piloted like thing where the guy like, oh, you can talk to your Microsoft Copilot gaming assistant, and the AI Copilot gaming assistant responds in an AI voice to some probably super rigged Minecraft game where the guy starts off at level 4 when he should be like level 0 or whatever. Like, it's like, this seems interestingly rigged, Microsoft. And the demo may or may not have been completely faked because it's a pre-recorded video that they also played during Microsoft builds. But let's not think about things like that. Because, yeah, they play the same exact video during day 1 of Microsoft build as well. Was it day 1 or day 2? Day 2 of Microsoft build, which was the next day immediately after. And it was verbatim, exactly the same amount of time. So it was like it was a pre-recorded video. It's like interesting, very interesting. The other funny part was there was a woman who said, "Oh, don't you want to call up your abuelita on Discord?" I'm like, hold the phone. People my age barely know how to use Discord. Like, how the heck is abuelita gonna learn how to use Discord? You're crazy, lady. Like,
Oh.
It's when you start to think about like some of these like things. Oh, the other one was the lady trying to paint, like, she's in Microsoft Paint, like, oh, you can paint these like little hills and you can use the AI to convert that into an image. It's like, who is going to open Microsoft Paint and do this? Who is the target audience here? Who's going to do that? Like, I mean, it's nice that Microsoft Paint has that now, I guess, but like, who's going to actually do that? Like, the only thing I know that people open Microsoft Paint for is to just make memes or whatever. I don't know.
Like, yeah, I mean, same thing like Microsoft Movie Maker and basic stuff.
I mean, at least Windows Movie Maker had a frame-by-frame button. iMovie doesn't even have that. I mean, if iMovie has it, I couldn't find it. I only had to like edit something on like iMovie like once in my entire life. Because someone was like, oh, I want to make a photo slideshow or whatever. He just passed off their computer to me and just throw something together. I'm like, okay. I didn't know what to do. And then I just said, I guess it wasn't that bad because it's just a photo slideshow, but like, it's like not great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe this is, I know everyone says recall spyware. I don't believe that. I think recall is actually just a major annoyance for your computer. Also, the way Microsoft handled it was terrible, horrible, and they deserve every little bit of crap they got for it, except maybe not the privacy parts. I think people jumped the gun on that one. Because the other thing is, now that it's out, if there were privacy concerns, wouldn't someone sound the alarm? As of late, Discord, shut up. What's going on here? Oh, because you're sending me stuff. How do you turn off Discord stupid notification sounds? I never use the Discord app if that's not evident. Because for some reason, Fugi doesn't work if you don't like use the Discord app. It's like, why? Microsoft CEO claims, yeah, that could mean anything. That could mean literally anything. This is Satya Nadella. He's not human. Like, there's something. Don't believe. He's probably a puppet for Amy Hood. Like, don't know. Yeah, I don't believe that. Again, claims. Claims can mean a lot of things. Claims could mean anything. Like,
it could.
That's why I would say, yeah, I don't believe that. Assisted for sure. What is it? Blah 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 blah. I ranted about recall. Oh yeah, one thing I wrote in all caps at the end of this was, "Am I the only one who watches these events?" Apparently, yes.
Yeah, you might be.
You said recall was unethical. We'll skip that one. Hard to recommend Windows. No. Well, oh. You said something about free BSD, and apparently I flipped out and said something along the lines of, free BSD is a waste of time and gamers can't use free BSD.
I knew that when because like FreeBSD lacks the graphics stack to actually run games properly.
Well, I mean, I could have guessed that part. I just knew they didn't
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Also because Steam doesn't work, and that eliminates like a good majority of games on the planet.
Yeah, I mean they could play games on like
Super Tux Kart.
Yeah. They could play web games.
Minimum justifying Microsoft's minimum requirements. I'm not going to do that, but I think I have a strong case for that. Something on picking GNOME or KDE, but it's just blank. Something about Waydroid. Okay, Waydroid is hot garbage. I can't recommend it. Also, I'm an NVIDIA user, so I can't use it anyway.
Waydroid is hot garbage. However, I hope Valve makes it better. And we get like a good port of it to like run like whatever.
Yeah, I wrote
Android
that
apps
not
can do on
knowing.
Linux.
Yeah, I wrote that not knowing about the whole emulator thing. So tells you what I know. Or what I don't know. I didn't know at the time. You said something about Winboat. A lot of people have been talking about Winboat, and I just don't feel comfortable with something like that, if that makes sense. Like, I just feel like it's like, wow, what could possibly give you, like, what's the, like, people say, oh, don't download Windows, Wine will make you vulnerable to Windows viruses. It's like, wouldn't Winboat do the same thing? That just sounds like a bad idea. Also, isn't it technically running a virtual machine? So why not just run a virtual machine? I don't know. Maybe it's my uneducated opinion, but that's just how I came out at the end of the day with Winboat when I looked at it. I was like, so what's the difference between running Winboat and running a VM? Not a whole lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, Winboat's eventually going to end up getting graphics, integrations. So that's going to be good for some people trying to run games. What I meant by that is they're going to have like you're going to be able to run it. You're going to be able to have GPU pass through is what I meant to say.
You can do
that way you can run games
on Virt Manager.
Yeah, but they're gonna do it through Docker, through like whatever they're doing it through, and then just
yeah.
Gonna make
Do you want to know what the Docker container does?
What?
It just installs Virt Manager.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's literally just a virtual machine. They're using QEMU or whatever. It's like there's nothing special about like what they're doing. If that makes sense. It's just a virtual machine.
I guess they make the installation process sort of.
Yeah, but you can just run the Flatpak to install Virt Manager. Someone actually gave. I'm gonna say this right now because someone gave me grief over this in like a comment like a bajillion years ago. But I'm gonna say this now. All right. Because let me open Bazaar because that's actually a great example of this. In Bazaar, there is you can, I mean, it's basically flathub.org. I probably should have just went to the website, but it's basically the same thing. Okay, you go to Virt Manager. Okay, bam.
Yeah.
You go to Virt Manager and you see, hey, hold up, Virt Manager is not verified according to Linux Mint's superior judgment because they think they know better. You're not allowed to run Virt Manager on Flatpak because it's not verified.
Well,
would you like me to tell you something about the Virt Manager package that I don't think a lot of people know about? Do you know who runs the Virt Manager, who actually packages Virt Manager for Flatpak?
You?
No.
Oh.
I don't have that time. But you know who does? Timothy Ravier, who's a very prominent KDE developer.
Oh.
Timothy is also responsible for doing stuff with Fedora KDE. He also does stuff with Fedora Silverblue. You know, I think he knows what he's doing. I think I'll trust him. I think he know. I would, you know. So it's like I think he's a trustworthy
thing about Linux, man. Flatpak verification. They did that because they couldn't verify where the developers were coming from.
Guess what? Linux
Eventually, some of those packages.
If you want to laugh, you want to like get a good laugh. Go to Linux Mint's documentation page about snap packages. Because like the first like 6 paragraphs is just saying we hate snap packages. Like, yeah. And then they say at the very bottom in like 2 paragraphs, yeah, here's how you turn it on again. It's like, what was the point of this? Like, why did you do this? Like, unironically, like I think Linux. This is one of the reasons why I just hate Linux Mint. Actually, it's that, and because my computer at the time, the trackpad didn't work when I installed Linux Mint, so I just don't have a good experience of it. So just because they're like, oh well, we need to stay on older software. Why do we need to do this? It's like, oh, but we can't verify the all right, here's another funny one. Okay, you go to Telegram. All right, I'll use I think Telegram used to do this. I don't think they do anymore. They kind of do, but I'll get to it. Back in the day, Telegram's original package was verified, but it was given a verified check mark with the name John something. I forget his last name. And then people saw that and they were like, that means Flatpak's verification is broken because who the heck is John, whatever his name is? Well, the problem with that is if you actually knew who this John guy was, he was one of Telegram's engineers. Like, so if that's not legit, like, I don't know what is. Like, it's like, same thing with, same situation with Vivaldi as well. Like, because Vivaldi technically is unverified, but it's run by one of Vivaldi's engineers. It's just unverified because Chromium on Flatpaks is garbage. And it's not even Flatpak's fault. It's because Chromium doesn't want to play with anybody. Don't you love browser monopolies? It's great. Also, why would they invest in it? Because no one uses desktop Linux.
Well, I was using. Well, the funny part is I was using Linux Mint for like a year.
Yeah, well, Linux
Mint
a
little over a year.
I always say this to everybody, but this is one of the many reasons why I just don't like Linux Mint.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion, which is fine because I've heard people end up saying that the
I just think
updates,
I would make the argument that most of what Linux Mint does is counterproductive to what Linux does. Most of it needs to be.
I think, in my opinion, OSs like Linux Mint, Zorin OS, the OSs that also optimize defaults like Pika OS, Nabara, Cache OS. They're good in Basil 8 and Steam OS. They're good foots in the door for Linux, and in case somebody wants to go further. Like, I was using Linux Mint for the longest time, and eventually I switched everything over to Pika OS.
I know I'm not recommending it because I think it's actually creates too many pitfalls for people who are new. And also by the fact that the virtue of the fact they hide a lot of the default stuff, which is horrible. Like it's the same. I'm gonna say this now. She's probably listening. I say the same thing, similar things about Elementary OS, but for different reasons. And I just say this because I say this in the nicest way possible because I know Danielle, she's great. I want to say this way. I think I've said this before too, so she probably won't get mad. I think Elementary OS has made themselves obsolete, but in the best way possible. Right? And that sounds like such a weird statement, but Elementary OS made themselves obsolete because back in 2016, when Elementary OS was started, what they were doing was very different at the time, right? With a lot more focus, it was a lot more focused on the design of their Vala interfaces and also the store experience, right? And also supporting the developers who are in the store, right? Now, fast forward 9 years later, right? I think Elementary OS, in a weird way, got what they wanted, right? Right? Because what's happening, because Danielle and a lot of the engineers at Elementary OS have contributed to Flatpak, right? Because they package stuff for Flatpak, and then they make code changes and stuff to Flatpak and things like that. So that's what ends up in there. And because it wound up in Flatpak, that's where the donation system in Flatpak came from. That's where the verification system in Flatpak and that's where all of that came from, right? It came from the people who worked on Elementary OS, right? That's where that comes from, right? But because Elementary OS was built on that, right? In a way, they made themselves obsolete because the greater Linux ecosystem now has that.
Yeah,
that makes sense, right?
It makes sense, but you gotta understand where
But with Linux Mint, right? I would argue what they're doing is counterproductive, right? Because they try to modify the experience like too much, but they also make that claim where it's like, oh, we can't verify apps, and it's like, but we also, the only apps you can trust in Linux Mint's repositories that they haven't modified are the ones that Linux Mint themselves made, like Cinnamon and Timeshift and whatnot. What's the other one? Like, there's one of them I can't name on YouTube because you'll get banned. And then one of the other ones is like
you'll get
like,
banned.
Oh yeah, there's one app in Linux Mint that they have that lets you watch television shows. You cannot mention that app on YouTube ever. You will get a strike. Do not mention that app. If you know the app that I'm talking about, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but you cannot mention
I don't know
that app. You will get a strike on YouTube.
How would you get the strike for mentioning an app?
When you look at what the app does, it'll sort of make sense. I think it's very misguided, but I think it's misguided and wrong, but YouTube just does YouTube things, and you cannot mention the app. You will get a strike. It has to do with TV shows. It is fully legal, but it doesn't matter. YouTube will still give you a strike. Like, it's dumb. But like those apps you can trust from Linux Mint. It's the other stuff you cannot trust from Linux Mint because they modify like Ubuntu's packages and whatnot. It's the same, except Pop! OS kind of does the same thing, except what Pop! OS does is kind of worse because what they do is they modify the repos, and because they modify the repos and how the software is delivered to you, it causes breakages. So I've had this happen to me before when I was testing Pop! OS out years ago, where if you tried to download like a newer version of LibreOffice, at one point I couldn't install it because of some sort of package dependency conflict between the repo Ubuntu version of LibreOffice with conflicting with the LibreOffice, the updated native LibreOffice that comes from the System76 repos. And then Linus Tech Tips also experienced something very similar where installing Steam uninstalled X11. But that wasn't in a weird thing, that wasn't unique to him. That's happened before, right? Just at a less catastrophic level.
Uninstalls the entire OS.
But that wasn't his fault though. And that wasn't his fault because of, I would say that's the fault of System 76. Like, and it wasn't just Linus's experience. It was just my own personal experience. System 76 has not been great. By the fact that I have a relative of one of their computers and the battery is like dead like after a year. Like, okay, that's not good.
That wouldn't be good.
Yeah, and then like the other one is, they don't update Ubuntu out of the box, so that's terrible. It's like, I mean, they're like, people are like, but they'll do it now. It's like, they'll do it now. It's like, yeah, but if they didn't do it for a year, like, why should I trust them to do it after that? Like, that's like saying, someone asked me the other day, don't you want to try Solus? I'm like, no, because like they weren't doing anything for like a year. It was like the repos are practically dead. It's like, you cannot recommend something after that. Like,
yeah, but like at the end of the day, these even if they don't make the best decisions, right? These are still distributions that have optimized defaults, and they have
no. But my point is, they don't have good defaults, right? That's my argument. They don't have good defaults, and then Linux Mint also lies to people, continues to lie to people, and says, or mislead people. I shouldn't say lie. That's mean. They mislead people by saying, Wayland is experimental. Yeah, if you use Cinnamon, but if you use GNOME or KDE, like 90% of the population do, you'll be just fine.
I was kind of curious about that. If you installed KDE on Linux Mint,
you can do that,
and then have Wayland.
I don't think. No, you won't, because it's running Ubuntu's version of KDE, which is a mutated version of KDE, which is not good at all. They still have like default to X11, which is crazy. I think they switched recently, but the fact that they did it recently and not like years ago is insane. It's like, nope. Yeah, that's ridiculous. And also, KDE also does not. Let's say KDE's developers, just because they're sick and tired of it, they will close any issue related to Debian because they do not want to deal with it, because Debian just runs outdated garbage. Like, I have a friend who runs KDE on his thing, and I tell him all the time, I'm like, because you're running Debian, you're just getting a worse version of KDE. And he's like, I know, but I don't want to switch. And then it's just he digs his hole a little deeper every day.
Well, I'm using Pika OS, which is using Debian Unstable, which is running KDE.
Well, Debian Unstable shouldn't be used for. I know people say this to you. Why don't you try Debian testing? It's like, no, that's not an answer. It's not good. It's like, It's like it's like
I feel like this is more of a unique thing to Peak OS because you have devs who are like making this work.
no, because it's not, because it's the same situation like what it is with Debian, except in some ways it's worse because you're piling up more and more stuff on top of the already unstable pile, right? And Debian only tests the stable experience. So it's just like, and there's no way, and they also clearly do not test all the packages in their stuff. Like at the launch of Debian 10, the calculator in GNOME wouldn't even open because like that should have been caught in QA because like you test to see if it opens or not, but it doesn't open. So clearly no one tested it. So they clearly don't have the ability to test everything. No distro does. Not just Debian, no distro does. It's like, and it's like, also, not only does it not launch, it's an outdated version. So it's like okay, it's because it's like GNOME 48 or whatever. I think it's like, what is it, 49 or whatever now? I don't remember the number. Unless you run, oh,
I don't know, I'm on KDE version 6.3.
yeah, man, it's more,
and 6.13.
It's like 6.5 or something now. Again,
It's
lots
not too
of
far bad.
no, that's pretty bad actually, because you want to be on the. I have to look at the. We're just gonna look this up right now, aren't we? I need to like not. I need to like hide my screen. Wait, no, I am hiding my screen. Duh.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I mean,
I was just literally just blabbing, and as if people could see what I'm seeing, and they can't see what I'm seeing because
I like
person.
Debian and Ubuntu stuff, but like Peak OS is like giving me a good experience. That's what I care more about.
Yeah, but I just think, honestly, like
if I wanted like bleeding edge, I'd run like Arch or Fedora, but
I wouldn't recommend Arch for many reasons. I have many as someone who did actually go through the work. I can't recommend it for many reasons. One reason I just can't is what they suggest on the wiki sometimes is either like it's not good for like default purposes. And an Arch install mitigated this a bit, but there's still things it just doesn't do, and it's like I
meant to say CachyOS, but yeah, it's still Arch.
CachyOS is the same story, right? Same story, different pilots, I guess, except not really because they actually give back to Arch, so they're not like a lot of the other clones. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
But even with Cachy, what they do if the kernel has caused problems historically to people's hardware, because there's like if newer hardware gets released, it causes conflicts with Cachy's patches, right? So back in the day, Bazite used to package CachyOS's patches. They don't anymore because it caused too many hardware problems.
Yeah.
So they just don't package CachyOS's patches anymore because it was too it was just a bad experience for people's hardware. And that totally makes sense. Like, yeah, that's nothing on CachyOS. I'm sure what they're doing is fine, but like, yeah, it's for that reason. Like, that's not the real reason I wouldn't recommend ArchOS. The real reason I don't like Arch Linux is just because like, it's just not. It doesn't really move the needle, if that makes sense. Although I do like the way they package things, I just don't think they've moved the needle. Like, they didn't move the needle in terms of like improving Linux at all. Right? I would actually make the argument. People say, "Well, why don't you try NixOS?" I get that every other video. Well,
I've tried it. It's an experience.
Torture, yeah. Yeah, I would like to use my computer and not have to learn a new programming language just to use my computer.
It took me 4 hours to learn how to use NixOS.
Yeah, I would like to use my computer and not have to learn a new programming language. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah, I mean. That's what I do. Like, even though my computers are Debian
the other reason I don't recommend NixOS is because for desktop is because it doesn't. Also, I'm an NVIDIA user, so like the drivers are just broken. So like, what can I do? So that's one reason.
I'm kind of both.
The other reason I don't do it is because like the problem they're seeking to solve isn't desktops. It's for deployment. Like,
it's for like servers.
Yeah. Like, it's for servers, that's one thing, but for desktop, I don't think that's it.
Yeah, which whenever I make a server, I'm going to use NixOS maybe, and then run copy party on it and do what I got to do with that.
I would do that. I'm even afraid to run NixOS because it's just not tested.
That, or just run Ubuntu or something. I don't know. But like, I don't know if I wasn't using I like Pika OS, I like Debian. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, if I wasn't using that, I would end up using maybe Fedora, Nobara, Kubuntu.
I can't recommend Nobara because Nobara was literally just meant for one person. You know who that one person is?
His father.
Yep. That's why I can't
I've tried
Nobara
Nobara. The problem is what ended up landing me on Pika OS though is the fact that I was updating my computer one day, my gaming computer, and
what were you using?
Huh?
Were you using Nobara?
Yeah, I was using Nobara.
Oh.
Like, not even a couple days, they push out an update. All of a sudden, I get a black screen, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with this.
Yikes.
And then I go and take a look in the Discord. Oh, Pika OS. Let me take a look at this. Like, oh, this is amazing. I go ahead and install everything. Click all these buttons. This basically installs everything I would need, and I'm like, oh, wow, this isn't bad. This is good. I like it.
Too bad it's based on awful Debian.
I'm not really.
I've had a very bad experience of Debian, and my stories of Debian are very long and
I see.
horrible
That's why you're
because they were the very they were the very first distro I ever used.
Yeah, I don't use like base Debian.
And when you start out on Linux, having to learn how to plug your computer into the Ethernet port, and then you have to download your Wi-Fi drivers, and then you have to learn the difference between the non-free drivers and the free drivers, and then you have to reinstall to put the non-free drivers back in from a different image. It's like what a nut. That's what you used to have to do. You don't.
I'm just glad that even though these are like recommended distros like Bazite, Nobara, Kashi, Pika, they all streamline the process where you just press a button, type in your little password, it installs everything you could possibly want.
You want me to tell you why I recommend Bazite over the others? There's actually a big reason.
It's immutable. You can't easily break it.
Oh, you can break it. You can definitely break it if you really wanted to.
You can break it if you wanted to enable write access. But
wait, no, you can just write into the read-only parts. I don't know if you know that. You can.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so this is what I mean. If you actually use the thing, you'll understand. That's not the real reason why I'm saying I recommend it. I don't care about the immutable.
Well, I'm gonna
actually cares about.
I do plan on using it when I get my test rig.
People on Linux get way too attached to like immutability, and like that's literally not the point. Like, do you want to know what the point of Bazite is and why it's actually why I was like, when I first heard about it, I was like, if this is true, this is crazy. And the reason why is because of one reason. It's the one thing that's done that the Universal Blue and Bazite have done that no other distro before them have ever done. And it's this: automatic updates between versions of something. And it's such like it's so dumb because you think someone would have done it by now, but the fact that actually happens is life-changing, because that means that I don't know a single person who has succeeded moving between versions of like Ubuntu or Fedora without my assistance. And I mean that. I don't know a single person who has gone through that without my assistance. Right? And the same is true like with Nobara. It doesn't matter if you use Nobara, right? With Nobara, you still have to go through this update process. You have to go from Fedora 42 to 43, right? You have to still go through that process. And there's no way around it, right? Whereas with any Universal Blue image, you just cycle to the next one overnight and you don't even know. Like, that's how it should be.
Yeah. Right? And with Pika OS, at least how it used to be, you have to be in their Discord, take a look at announcements. If he has special instructions, do that stuff. And then I don't think you have to do that kind of stuff anymore now, but you used to have to go in the terminal and type some stuff in.
Well, you know, the other problem I have with the base GNOME and Debian, and this also falls into like stuff like Tails as well. The problem with like a lot of those is they're like, oh, well, we give you an image viewer, right? But the image viewer is still like Eye of GNOME, which nobody uses anymore. Like, it's not getting updated anymore, right? And like the one you should be using was created by one of the GNOME, I think it was one of the Alices at GNOME who did it. It's Loop is what you should be using. I've been using it for years now. I've been using it before most distros declared it a default. They should have done it years ago. But Loop is what you should be using. People are like, well, it has less features. There's no slideshow feature. It's like, no one actually used the slideshow feature in Eye of GNOME. I don't know a single person who did. Like, I don't know. That's a made up reason. But like, that this is what people will say. They're like, oh, well, it doesn't have the same features. It's like no one used those features. Like the only reason people open the image viewer is to look at their images and maybe make some light edits, right?
Yeah.
And like the one thing Loop does, which is an improvement, is you can edit your image. It doesn't do a whole lot, but you know,
We have had very different
ask for,
experiences on Linux.
right? And this is how you can tell my computer makes me miserable.
For me, it's just like my shit just works, and that's all I care about. Now, if like Pika OS ever like loses funding or goes down, I can always like obviously the beauty of Linux is you can move to a different distribution. So like I could like move the gaming PC to Bazite and then the streaming PC to something else.
I would just not use anything Debian.
I like
after
Debian
speaking to
from what
too
I've
many
been
people
using, but
who know about Debian and after suffering too much under Debian, I just cannot recommend it at all or anything based on it.
I haven't been suffering, but
well,
I think I'm
the
fine.
suffering comes from what they do to other developers. So, like one amazing example is, do you know what KeePass XE is? It's a password manager.
Yeah.
Okay. The maintainer was originally part of the KeePass XE GitHub organization. The maintainer went rogue and then split the Debian package into 2 different packages. So if you just sudo apt install KeePass XE, you're actually getting a fake version, tweaked version of KeePass XE. The real KeePass XE is KeePass XE-full. And the reason why is because the guy who did this is deluded into believing, well, the YubiKey support, I don't use the YubiKey support, therefore I'm going to make a build that removes it. So it's more minimal. And then he's like, oh, I also don't use the browser extension, so I'm going to remove all of that support too because it needs to be more minimal. So, but the thing is, the minimal package is marked as the main pack, like the normal KeePass XE package. And then now the package is just declared rogue. Like it's just not. They don't have any control over that project anymore, right? Just because this guy made really convoluted decisions, right? And it's like it's just that like GNOME calculator not working or whatever at launch, not switching over to Loop or whatever. Outdated versions of everything. It's just like, yeah, it's like really,
I mean, I can
really
understand,
nasty
yeah,
stories
but...
like this is like reason alone to like not use.
Well, I've already configured everything. I'm already using Pika OS.
There was one guy who asked a question at Linux App Summit last year where he said, yeah, I'm a Debian maintainer, but I became a Debian maintainer so people don't hijack my package. Like, that's crazy. Like,
that's crazy, yeah.
It's like, but it's not just Debian that's guilty of this. It's like a lot of other like distros fall into this boat, right? Like it's not just Debian; it's a lot of others.
They do,
too.
yeah.
Like
each distro has its own little set of issues. Like I'm sure Bazite has their own plethora of issues as well. Like I remember like reading somewhere the Bazite was like, if Fedora was going to kill 32-bit support, Bazite was going to have issues.
Yeah,
that's fake.
Yeah.
Mm.
You wanted me to tell you? Do you? I made a video about this. Of course I did, because I knew people would freak out over that. And what happened was, story behind that's actually really nasty, because people heard about this because someone got a hold of Fedora, was reading Fedora's discussion forums. Fedora's moderators didn't check the discussion forums. So what happened was people were like, oh, it's going to remove 32-bit or whatever. So people start panicking. Kyle, who's one of the maintainers of Bazite, comes in and says, well, we want to remove 32-bit. We just think it's too soon. Maybe there's a better way to do this if we push it back to the next candidate schedule or whatever it's called. And then people freaked out even more because they're like, well, if you had to shut down Bazite, if you couldn't do 32-bit, it's like they're not gonna shut it down like immediately. They're not gonna flip a switch and it's just gonna go away. Like that's not how this works.
They would just...
right. But what happened was, after those comments, what happened was, if you looked at all of the comments that came after, it was all from sock puppet accounts that were created a day after the announcement. Of people just bombarding the announcement page. And the guy who made the announcement, Fabio Valentini, made a post on his Mastodon basically saying, yeah, apparently I'm the most evil person on the internet because I said we should not use 32-bit applications anymore because people were sending him like nonsense. It's horrible, right?
Yeah.
And like, this is what I mean by be very patient about like news or like what happens. And again, it's just a freaking proposal. It's like they're just thinking about it. No one's actually doing anything. They didn't even. They haven't even built the switch, the flick to turn it off yet.
Yeah.
Like
worst case scenario, if that did happen, I mean, there's always the flat pack.
It's not gonna happen. Like, it literally is not gonna happen anytime soon. Like, just because of like, yeah, horrible. What does this say? Trixie is easier now. I mean, yeah, because they just include a newer kernel. Shocker.
Yeah, I mean, I understand.
I don't even know the Debian Toy Story characters anymore. I know, like, I don't even know the numbers anymore. I've just given up. All I know is I have one server that still runs Debian, and I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to get all of my stuff out.
You could just run, XOS on it, and then
XLS.
NixOS.
Yeah, no thanks.
I
prefer to use something people actually use first.
Like Fedora?
Probably.
Do you use Fedora?
No. I mean, I
what
technically do. I run Bazite. I'm lazy.
Oh.
It comes out of left field whenever I tell people. My preferred choice would actually be if I were to build my own image, it'd probably be something like it needs to be like a hybrid between like Secure Blue NVIDIA with no MAC address modifications because DaVinci Resolve on Linux for some stupid reason requires you have a static MAC address because they assume you're running it as an appliance.
I see.
So yeah, learn that the hard way. I may or may not have gotten my activations locked up multiple times because I've been trying to like test the thing and see what happens, and if the MAC address is flipped, it's like I was like, why is this happening? So I keep modifying my system to figure out what it was. It's some stupid vendor OUI signature thing that gets dumped into that folder, and then there's also now a thing in DaVinci Box where like somehow like the container gets bricked if you like the container gets bricked if you use NVIDIA, and the NVIDIA there's 4 dependencies that just for some reason the permissions on them change from root to nobody. And what that does is it just permanently breaks like CUDA from working on the container. Like once that happens. So what you do is you start the distro box, delete those libraries, then unstop the distro box, and then run the distro box again where it has to connect to GitHub and download the new those dependencies again, and then Resolve is working again. But you have to do that every time you turn off the container, meaning every time you turn off your computer. Isn't that great?
That's crazy. Yeah, I feel like if PKOS ever lost funding and they shut down, I'd probably just move everything to Bazite. It seems like probably the best option.
That's how I explain my logic, my convoluted logic to people. And the reason why I want Secure Blue is just because, one, I'm a crazy paranoid person, but the other reason is I just don't need all of this gaming stuff on my computer. I mean, it's nice. I mean, it's nice to have Steam.
That's just how I am. Yeah,
it's nice to have Steam. I'm playing Death Stranding, but I don't get to play it very often, so it's like, okay, well, it's here.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
I gotta step away for a moment, please. I'll be right back.
Okay, I will read chat. Unless you run oh yeah, we answered that question. Even though 10 did plenty of bad things like search garbage, guessing a lot of people are nostalgic for 10 since it last. Yeah, probably. Play Candy Crush now on your Windows. They did that like years ago. Come on. I remember the first time trying 10 and the tile thing popped up and I was like, lol, nah. It's like, bro, where you been? Windows 8 did the exact same thing. Like when people hit the clicked on the people look for the start menu and see that it's like missing. People like freak the crap out. What is this? Flashbang. Yeah, sorry. This is just Krita. I mean, if you get the paint bucket tool and you make the whole canvas black, yeah. Well, Kylo's not here. I'm probably gonna goof off and do something else. How's everyone doing? I'm sure everyone's okay. I wanted to do emotes. Um, I get motivated and I see like people like do stuff on Twitch and I'm like, oh, I see like you see like your favorite Twitch streamer has like emotes and you're like, oh, I should do that. That wasn't what motivated me. What motivated me is I have a friend who sends me like who subscribes to like all sorts of like funky sticker packs on a Signal and I'm like, man, I want that. Why can't I have that? I should make that. So yeah, I would like to go make like a Signal sticker pack, but also I need to fix my intro stream starting thing. I want to make something for that. I have a feeling it would take a lot of work though. It's probably going to be something dumb, like it just plays like my YouTube shorts on repeat or something. But like the downside of that is it means I have to have all of my YouTube shorts on my computer. I did get another NVMe recently, so I can at least I have a lot more space now, but still. I need to have a place to live to store all of my belongings. The other thing is, what is it? I found out that the iPhone 2nd gen is still supported, which shocked me a lot. And I also found out that my iPad is probably like one of the last devices supported now. So it's like, yeah, well, I guess it's the last Apple device that I have that's supported. Which is I don't really care that much, but. Just something I need to know about. What else do I need to do? Oh yeah, I wanted to test stuff on iPad OS. I'm not quite there yet. And then I also wanted to build more stuff, and I'll do that when Kylo comes back. We'll get into the building part. There's a building part. The other thing I wanted to do is if anyone knows of a good way to like, I don't know, like schedule like, please, the less than 20 people out there, please, if you have an answer, tell me. Is there a way to update Docker without destroying the entire container? Please, can someone tell me? I would love to know if there's a way to automatically do it. And do not say Watchtower. I need something else. I need something more simple. I don't need Watchtower in my life. It's only for like one thing. That's all I need. And it needs to be like a local image or something. Yeah. I may need more help for this. Hello. I'm just running my mouth.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I understand like your position on like Debian and stuff like that, but that's just what I'm using right now.
Nasty business. What goes on in Debian?
Some things I don't know about, but I'm literally using an OS called Pika OS, and it's more like a hobbyist OS, but it works.
Hobbyist projects. It's not the sort of thing it's not that I don't like the people, it's just you can't entrust your life to something like that. Fine if you play around in it, but not for daily usage.
Yeah, well, worst case scenario, I just move everything to Bazite. Wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, and that's actually a fantastic segue. Let's go to the guidebook that you made. That's sort of a guidebook. I actually had to like verify some of the information. I still need to I would like to verify some of the information because I haven't. It's very long and I haven't had time to actually look at some of this. But I think you've showed me some programs on here that I have never heard of in my life.
I had to do some digging and some searching.
Some of these were like
stuff.
Some of these were like the voice changing ones.
Yeah.
Like this is also not counting the fact that there are AI programs which have like you can have AI programs replicate your voice or someone else's voice.
Yeah.
So like that's not counting those. But I assume these are made without a lot of these are made without that. I would like to figure that out though. I just want to know what people could do to me. Okay, that's why I'm doing. I'm not trying to like deep fake anyone or anything. I just want to know what are people going to do to me? What do I need to be worried about?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and if I can do it, what is someone else going to do with it?
Yeah. But like a lot of these programs that are being listed are like stuff that like so a potential VTuber could use. You know, if they're moving to Linux, they're going to want to have options on like what tools are available as like an idea.
yeah, the one that shocked
That way
me
they can
was
have.
Zeta Office, which I have never heard about in my life.
Yeah.
I don't even. It looks exactly the same, so I don't even know what the difference is between Zeta Office and Only Office, except for the fact that it says Zeta and not Libre.
It's probably just a fork.
But what's the?
It's
I
probably
looked
just a fork.
everywhere. Like I looked on the website, and I was like, "What is the difference?" Like genuinely, what is the difference? Because there's like, it can be hosted, I guess. Like, but like it looks exactly the same, and it's like, I mean, I guess. Isn't this is what Collabora is supposed to be? I was very confused. Needless to say, I was very confused. I still don't know what. Still, it's a JavaScript based, I think, not Java based, because LibreOffice is written in Java. So like,
I see.
So like, there's stuff like Collabora, was made specifically to escape Java, if that makes sense.
Oh.
I think, but that was one of the major reasons, was to get off of LibreOffice's old code base, because LibreOffice was back from like the Open Office days, because I was an Open Office user. Back in the Open Office days, you had to like, you know, they still have code from the Open Office days, right? So they want to like, it's a way to like get a fresh restart, if that makes sense, right? With the interface and everything. Like, also the fact that LibreOffice doesn't have LibreOffice Calc has no auto sum button, and that is like wild to me. Like, that's actually crazy that they don't have an auto sum button. I was like I flip out every time. I'm gonna continue to bring that up until they they put it in. Like, please. That's like every Excel. It's the thing that's used by literally every single person who opens Excel. Like, that's
I do want to preface something about the guide though.
Sure.
Like, I'm not the only one who was testing stuff for this. It was me, Ren.
Also, let's bring that up in the video. You misspelled
well.
Ren's name in the video, which was like, I was like, wait, you know him. How did you misspell his name? Like, it's misspelled in the description and in the video. Like, because you called him Rouge Ren.
Oh god, I always mess that up. Sometimes I type in Rouge instead of Rogue, and it's a typo.
Bro, that's French. It's not even
about
English.
it though.
You know any other languages?
Hmm?
You know any other languages?
No.
Oh.
No, I used to know Latin, but I don't know.
Latin, I assume, because you did it in school.
Yes.
Don't know Latin. I know French and Spanish pretty well, though. My Japanese is kind of hit or miss, and then my Chinese is awful.
Sometimes when I type some stuff in, it could be like English, but
I blame anime for the reason I know what I know about Japanese. Thanks.
Yeah.
And I barely watch anime. Actually, now it's just evolved into, I'm just gonna watch. I don't even watch anime anymore. I'm just like, I'm just gonna watch Twitter videos about like the I don't know, like did you know this voice actor went to go to an aquarium to feed penguins? It's like, wow, don't you want to learn about that?
What am I going to do with this information?
Nothing. I'm going to do nothing with this information. I'm just going to watch it, and it's basically brain rot. And I know it's brain rot. Yeah. It is basically brain rot. But like, it's shocking to me that like most people watch these shows, they don't even know like these actors and stuff. It's like, that's crazy. Like, it's like, you don't even know like these people. It's like I think I ragged on Ren about this. It's like, bro, you didn't even know that like the cast of Demon Slayers in your like Rey Natalis game or whatever. It's like, come on, that's such a waste. You didn't know this, did you? The cast of Demon like Tanjiro and Nezuko are the two leading characters in Rey Natalis. Yeah, believe it or not. They're just trying to get stuff done on the side, I guess. They wait for the next season. Like,
I struggle watching anime. I'm still finishing Mob Psycho 100 and Scissor 7.
Yeah, I barely watch anime, so I think it shocks people. I just don't watch. Actually, it's not just anime.
I need to rewatch Digimon and Ghost in the Shell and Gundam.
Oh, Ghost in the Shell? Ghost in the Shell's great.
Yeah.
I recommend Ghost in the Shell.
It's good.
Yeah.
Speak.
Very, very innovative art. I remember I watched this is actually a really funny story. I remember when I was in college, we got a tape of Ghost in the Shell, and we just watched it. And in college, you know, you don't have like a TV in your room, so we went to like there's like a TV in the like just the public common room. So we you know, there's a VHS player, so we just, you know, you put the tape in, you watch it. So we didn't think, like, it was a quiet night, so we didn't I was with like 3 friends, and we didn't think that like anyone were gonna come in. So we watched the thing, then we we get to the part where this won't spoil too much, where someone like rips off their clothes and like gets like their like arms like their arms, they're like an android, so like their arms get like torn off, and then someone just walks in like when that's happening.
They are making another anime for that.
What?
For Ghost in the Shell, based off the manga.
Probably gonna run into the ground. What's his name gonna say about this? Oh, by the way, the director of Ghost in the Shell, he has a habit of, he's incredibly like nihilistic, and he's also like obligatory include a Bible verse in like every like everything he does. It's sort of like his hallmark. But he everything he makes is also like incredibly negative. So like
there is an anime they need to bring back though. Land of Lustrous. They need to bring that back.
I don't know what that is.
Apparently you have crystal beings fighting gods, and depending on what kind of
let
crystal
me guess, they're
on,
gem girls.
Yes, they are gem girls.
Wow, that was just a guess. Anime is made for babies.
Anime was a mistake.
Literally, anime is like, I don't know if you know this, if you've watched enough. Like Japanese and anime is not at all what people talk like. It's literally just like I don't know how to describe it. It's literally just like there's like anime Japanese, and then there's like actual Japanese. Like I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's like when you watch like it's like when you watch an opera. It's like that's not how people actually sound like, right? Because it's an opera, right? Like it's the same way. It's the same concept.
Yep, a lot of the stuff's just tested either by me or people who were contributing. And I do plan on, when I make my testing OS, my testing rig, to go through all of the stuff again. Just
how many
to make
computers
sure it all works
do you
correctly.
have?
I have a streaming computer. I have a gaming computer, which I also use to edit videos.
Or any of them desktops?
And I also have a laptop. 2 of them are desktops, and I'm probably going to end up having a NAS that's going to be made off like DDR3 stuff, and then eventually I'm going to end up having the test rig, which is going to be another desktop.
So what I was looking into was I only have like 2 computers that are really usable. I have a bunch of other computers that like do nothing and float around. One of them is a computer I have given to that is basically, for all intents and purposes, the house's Chromebook, and it's like, hey, you need to do your homework, you use this computer. Don't use the one your school gave you. Okay, great, thanks. And it's just so I can control what happens and not what freaking school does. I don't want to deal with that. Also, it's plugged into a pfSense firewall, so they don't get to know where we live. Because I'm a crazy person. Because that's also the computer that I also have to plug into that when I work from home. So I have my work computer, and that's a Windows 11 computer. It's bog standard. I don't want to say too much, but it's basically a Windows 11 computer, and it just does my work, and that's it. For my job. And then so when I work from home, I use that computer, but I have to plug it into the pfSense firewall, and then sometimes pfSense gets an update and breaks everything, and then you have to like go. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's an awful experience. It's an awful experience, but you have to do it because that's how you work from home privately in 2025.
Yeah.
And good thing I got all of this in 2019 before the global pandemic started. Like, I got all of it in 2019 and set it up before the global pandemic, and I didn't even know it was going to happen. Like, I was just doing it to like try it out. And yeah. So I have a pfSense firewall. Still has VGA ports. You could, when you buy it, it's from Protectly, not sponsored. You can buy it from them if you want. But now if you buy it from them, they give you it has an HDMI port. Also, unlike System 76, they actually use LVFS because that's what you should do, and not do what System 76 does. System 76 makes you use some sort of external program that only works on Debian. There's a guy, I'm blanking on his name, who packages it for Fedora, and there's another guy who does it for NixOS, and there's another guy who does it for Arch. But those are the only ones you can use that tool on. Now, technically, what you can do is you can go get into a USB and flash the motherboard firmware using a USB, but that's just pain. like, yeah, just use someone who supports That's another thing I hate about System 76. Yeah, just use someone who actually supports LVFS and just get it over with. Like, it's just like Dell. Like, Dell supports LVFS. Not good for gaming machines, but they do.
Yeah.
And then was it I'm forgetting on companies now. Who's the one other than Dell? Who am I thinking of? There's someone. Lenovo. Yeah, Lenovo does too.
Lenovo.
Yeah. I know Alienware technically falls under Dell, and I think they do some things, but not like their RGB whatever whatnot. Yeah, I had to set that up for a friend, and the RGB wasn't an issue because that's still a hardware control thing. I think OpenRGB still worked for that. The issue was when he got the computer a couple months ago, the Wi-Fi worked, but the Ethernet didn't. And apparently it's because of some sort of driver issue, because it was a newer Intel Wi-Fi card. So like the Wi-Fi would work, but the Ethernet wouldn't. But I think they fixed that in like a recent kernel update. Again, another reason to use something that gets an up-to-date kernel, right? Because if you have like newer hardware, it solves issues like these. But yeah, he had to deal with not having Ethernet working for a bit, which was not fun. I'm gonna scroll down the list here. First off, do not install Wine in your computer if you know it's good for you. Thanks. Wait, why do you say install Wine on here? You don't actually utilize that in any of the programs here, do you? Because I see you tell people to install Wine, but I don't think it's needed for any of the programs that are here. Like native Wine or whatever.
I think I was talking to Ren when we were doing that.
Yeah, this might have to get deleted. Unless this is talking about something else. But I don't think... Yeah, I think this needs to get deleted because this... Would you like me to open up the Codeberg account I never open up and submit code commits to it?
You could, yeah, and then we can, I could.
I remember.
Essentially, just talk to Ren about it and.
Rouge Ren. Yeah, Rouge Ren.
I mean, Ren is the one that like talked to me. I guess this is like an early part.
Yeah, I was the one who I was the one who coached him. That's the story. He was the one who started it, but I was the one who coached him. Like, yeah, because I may or may not have gotten a hold of the people who are behind the whole shebang to begin with, because I want to say there was only like 2 people who figured this out, and this is back when Lena first started VT Social. I found out this was going on just because I was just like, when you're on the Mastodon deck or whatever, it just scrolls through every feed or whatever, right? Like your notifications, your DMs, your local and federated feeds. But in the local feed, I came across someone. Her name's Sean. I forget what name she used for her Twitch, but she doesn't stream anymore. She doesn't. Ooh. Yeah, for personal reasons, she stopped streaming. But she was the major reason why the setup right now is the way that it is, because she was the one to figure out that VC Face works with OBS VK capture, because she was the first to do it. And I don't know have documentation of anyone else doing it except for her. And then maybe the person she was doing a podcast with, Brandon, and then they're the only ones that and he's just disappeared off the internet. So like, they're the only ones that have actually done.
Did you say Mariesu?
Who?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was talking to Mary Sue whenever
Who?
I was trying to figure out how
Who's this?
yeah, so they are a person who runs Fedora, and as far as like getting like transparency for game capture
Yep.
for like VTube Studio and other 3D programs, um they're the ones that told me like how to how to install that, because before I didn't think it was possible because I just didn't know how to do it at
Yeah,
the
so
time.
with OBS, you download the VK, you download the Flatpak extension for VK, OBS VK
Yeah,
capture, or whatever.
yeah, but I was using the native at the time. So I was like installing from PPA, then I had to install the
Oh, okay,
packages
that's
and
fine.
build from
Yeah, if it's the
source.
PPA, that's fine. But like, yeah, otherwise you should avoid the native version. If it's in the PPA, you're fine. But like, yeah, for many reasons, it's
Hmm.
just the only two versions of OBS you should ever use are the PPA and the Flatpak. If you're using something else, you're using OBS wrong. Like,
I see.
so like, Bluefin used to package some weird fork of OBS. Thankfully, they stopped doing that. And then there was another thing. What was it? Like how on OBS on Flatpak and on not Flatpak, OBS on Fedora and Arch Linux is just broken, like in different ways. Like,
I see.
so like the browser docs don't work, or like apparently the situation got so bad they had to like send them a cease and desist. It's like Fedora cease and
Oh,
desist. It's like, yeah, not good. And then, but with Arch Linux, the browser docs are just flat out broken because they don't ship an updated version of the Chromium embedded framework.
oh,
Wow. Even though they could just do it by just using the Flatpak. Well, also you can install extensions on the Flatpak. I don't think people do it, but I don't see why you would do it. But I guess I'd have to look
you
into the.
can.
You can, but I don't. I don't. Well, I
You can
mean,
do
I
it
know
via
you can.
Discover
I know you can.
and
I just haven't
FlatHub.
done it.
Hmm.
Because like the ones that most people that I can think of would use would be VK Capture. Um, what's the one? GStreamer. If you want to use if you're one of the people who
Yeah,
wants to use GStreamer,
GStreamer. Yeah.
and Destroy V, formerly known as OBS NDI. Yeah, because NDI, they didn't come after them, but they were worried that NDI might. But NDI has a horrible website, and like I don't think knows how to use the internet sometimes. So I don't know what they were freaking out about. But I can see why they changed the name. Oh, do you know what NDI is, right?
NDI capture
Yeah,
is like
yeah,
being essentially it's meant for like putting one screen to another screen, but you can also use it for VTubing stuff.
What makes it significant is you can do it over network, right?
Hmm.
So that's the
But NDI
skill.
also has a problem where it can lag,
Yup.
which is why I recommend game capture.
Yeah, there's our workplace has a very weird system where you can plug it into there's like in some of our conference rooms there's like you go in and then there's like a thing that interfaces with like whatever software you're using. So it supports our thing one supports Teams and Zoom, and then you plug in and then it streams that to like a TV. It's really funky. Like, so
I
whatever
see.
they're doing, it's something to do with like something to do with something in that ballpark. I don't know if it's NDI, but it's something like that. They also have us use those what's it called? The owls or whatever. I don't know if you know what those are. They're like it's like a 360 camera, but like it like I don't know, it like somehow has an onboard processor which splits between like who's like visible in a call
Hmm.
or not. So like if people are sitting at a conference room table, it looks at like three people at once, and then there's like one like panoramic view. It's a little weird. Um, but what happens is those owls apparently I remember this because of the pandemic. Dan Gooden wrote an article about those where which he did not find the vulnerability, he never does, but like he made a good summary of it. Where those owls apparently shout at the top of their lungs with like Bluetooth and network and everything, and are
Oh,
like the most insecure things on the planet. And then Owl was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna fix that. That's by design." Always great to hear stuff like that. Um, Wayland versus Xorg. Yeah, I just use Wayland. It works. It's worked for the last couple of years. I don't see a reason to not use it. I mean, that's how I'm doing it with you right now. I mean, I don't use docs. What do people use docs for exactly? Like chat, right?
Yeah, for like chat, closed captions, stuff like that.
Hmm. Closed captions.
Yep, there's a closed caption plugin that I use.
Oh. For
Yeah.
what? Your voice or to show it on
My
screen?
my voice to show it on screen. So basically, I'm talking, and it's for
Wait,
people
why
who
does that
either are
require wait
hearing,
X11?
huh?
Why should that require X11? I'm confused.
Because you can't, because it's a browser doc. So I mean, it's a custom browser doc. So you need to have, you need to be able to click on it, and when you're on Wayland, you don't have that option.
You need to click on it?
Yeah, you need to be able to click on it to open up the window, because these are basically essentially custom browser docs like ATM multi-stream, closed captions, stuff like that. That's why you're able to run it either through Xorg or through XWayland in order to make it work. And you're able to dock them. Without that, Wayland doesn't support that, so you wouldn't be able to even use those plugins that way
But they make you use a doc? Why?
because it's required. Because
Why?
they haven't updated
2
their
months ago.
code,
Oh, you mean the core code.
the core code for OBS because of a Chromium bug. So they need to make sure that they like I hope eventually they end up enabling it for Wayland, but they haven't enabled that for Wayland. It's only working for Xorg. As far as like being able to use custom browser docs,
They don't
anything
mention
that
anything
requires
about
that.
X11 here, but that could just be bad documentation.
Not on the closed captions.
Download the plugin, put the binary into your plugins folder.
Yeah, but it doesn't work in Wayland. It works in
Why? I'm
Xorg
so
and XWayland.
confused. Because of a Chromium bug?
Yep, because of a Chromium bug.
But Chromium works on Wayland. I'm using it right
It
now.
Yeah, but can you click on docs?
I don't know. Let's try right now.
And do you have a thing where it says custom browser docs?
Uh, where would I find that?
It would be next to view and next to profile.
View in profile. I
Yeah.
see reset docs, block docs, full margin docs.
So you see lock docs, full height docs, reset docs. You don't see anything else?
No.
Yeah, because Wayland doesn't support custom browser docs. And stuff like captions, stream information, chat, Twitch stats, Twitch activity feed, ATM multi-stream, they all require,
What's
to my
multi-stream?
understanding, yeah, it's
It's wrong page.
ATM. It's so you're able to multi-stream using both, like, depending on like what platform you want.
Huh. So it's kind of like Restream.
Not. I mean, Restream is a service. This is more like a plugin that you can multi-stream
Okay.
from OBS itself. There's
Okay.
also multi-RMTP,
So it's
which also
technically
lets you
not as good
multi-stream.
because you're technically piping the same stream twice. Or what? What's the catch?
No, there's no catch to it. It's just I think it's genuinely better than Restream, because Restream you're doing that through a service.
Well, isn't that
With
better because it's only one stream going out to this respective places, right? Rather than
Yeah, but you're doing it all through Restream, which adds latency.
okay.
If you're doing it through ATM and or multi-RMTP plugin, yeah, your GPU might be putting out a little bit more encoding, but you're not getting as much latency. So that means you won't have that huge latency issue hit
I mean, that
whenever you're
tells you
like
what I know.
streaming
I
on.
just pre-record videos.
Yeah, I've been streaming for like a long time.
Yeah, I just pre-record videos, man. It's just a lot easier. What is it? Alright, I need to read chat. Give me a second. I need to actually like make this window like not float. Good morning. Good morning to you. It is not morning for me. How the heck do you do this in Chromium? What? Am I like doing this wrong? Yeah, you have to Windows key click. That's horrible. Okay. Wait, are you telling me anime's not real? Yeah, anime's not real. It's all in your head. Yeah, you are literally seeing everything. All right. So there's no lag between what I. Yeah, that's right. We did that. Proton Plus.
Yep.
Proton Up QTs if you use a Steam Deck. I mean, you can technically also use Proton Plus, but you have to install it. This is just pre-installed on a Steam Deck. Yeah, who told me about this? I forget where I found out about this. I want to say it was. No, I think I just found it on like some random website. It was like probably like something, maybe OMG Ubuntu. Don't quote me on that. They probably never did a video of it. Never did an article on it. Joey probably never doesn't even know what this is. I'm probably making it up. But I found it out about it somewhere. I was like, oh, that's what that is. It's like how Bazite has Moonlight. I'm like, yeah, I'm never gonna use this in my life, but I'm sure someone will. I don't know what any of this. I was looking at some of this, like install distro. Do not use Balena Etcher. I hate to be that guy, but don't use Balena Etcher. The thing about it is it's been getting worse and worse, and now they're trying to collect analytics about like what ISOs you're using, and they send it back to like their server or whatever to look like so like, and plus like the thing is like 300 gigabytes and it's 300 megabytes, and it's like, why? You're just installing a disk. It's like, if you've ever seen like any other like Linux install thing, it's like smaller. It's like Raspberry Pi Imager is where I would tell people to go.
Fedora Media Writer is also really good.
Yeah, but it doesn't work on like Mac.
Windows. Yeah.
That's where my brain goes anyway. But whatever, they're all gamers. They're probably using Windows anyway. Doesn't matter. Rufus is probably acceptable. Ventoy can cause problems. I hate to be that guy, but Ventoy can cause problems.
It can, yeah. It can. I've had issues trying to install certain things with it.
And then NixOS, if you're trying to target new users, just drop everything related to NixOS and move it down a section, like a billion sections, like move it all the way down to the bottom. I'm not even joking. Like, people don't need to, new users do not need to be using NixOS. It's like, just get this out of here.
I do have a config file for it, so.
Sure, but just bump it down all the way to the bottom. If you're not updating it, just bump it all the way down to the bottom, because people don't need, new users should not be using this ever. Like, also, app images, bad formatting here. App images needs to be capital A, capital I, one word. Yeah. The guy who runs app images is an alt-right nut job, and you shouldn't use it anyway. Like, not only is he an alt-right nut job, also when people build app images, you're required to not only build just for that the expectation is when you use it, you need to have a program that doesn't exist in most distros anymore, except set aside because of him specifically, which is Fuse 2, which no one uses. So, which is why there's always a Fuse 2.9 package in most distros, specifically because of app images. Right. Everyone else is using the most updated version of Fuse, which is how like you mount drives and whatnot, file systems, something like that. So, like, basically, app images are awful. Don't use them ever. It's also very sad when you have to use something like Gear Lever, which is installed on Bazite. Ironically, to use Gear Lever, you need to install it as a Flatpak.
Yeah, you do. Even though it's for app images.
Even though it's for app images. Yeah, the irony, right? But I think that just shows, like, how broken app images are. And it's like, if I can avoid using them, I will, because they're horrible. You hear that, Tuda Noda? Tuda Noda. That tells you how old I am. Do you hear that, Tuda in session? Can you stop? Thanks. Like you to stop using app images. Stop using app images. App images are bad. What's the meme of like, that's like, stop using blank? It's like, whatever. VTube Studio. Would you know, I did try this back in the day before Face Tracker existed, and there was a bug at the time where Onyx runtime was just broken. So Face Tracker didn't work at all, and this is before there was this GUI for it. You had to run some random Python script in a virtual env. Yeah, what fun.
Yeah, before Face
Tracker. Now it's like stupidly easy. You just click a button and you're done. Like
I saw the Rogue Ren video and I ran it through terminal, and I was like, there has to be something better than this.
No, there wasn't. That's the thing. At the time, there
and
wasn't.
Then eventually, RoboIntux's guides ends up releasing it, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's the thing. There wasn't. At the time, there wasn't. It was literally that bad.
This is a game changer. And now people also use like.
Did you hear about the Signal thing? Yes, I did. I made a post on this on Mastodon. It's incredibly misguided and horrible. They need to go home and rethink their lives and get off death sticks. I don't know what death sticks were they smoking when they made that decision. That was horrible. Like, it was like, Signal, we care about security. Also Signal. Yeah, we made an app image.
Yeah.
It's like,
the other option.
Actually, let me show you this now before I forget, because I can actually. This is a thing that I've made preview for a future video. I actually have to get a terminal over here.
Just GNOME.
Yeah, it is GNOME. What I use.
No.
Used it for the last GNOME forever. I've used it for the last forever. All right.
I don't like GNOME.
So one of the things that you should know about Signal. Let me allow me to demonstrate to you the correct way to download Signal. You're already asked. I already hear chat. They're like, Trafotin, the correct way to download Signal is obviously you go to the Signal website and you just download the Signal, right? Sure, let's do that. We're gonna. That's what the heck is that? I don't want to get banned. You go to signal.org, okay? Get Signal. Yeah. Okay, I trust you. I'm on Linux. Sure. What the? It only works on Debian? Oh no. What are we going to do? I'm a Bazite user. What the heck am I going to do? Oh no. My life is over. Apparently Arch Linux also packages it too, but don't use that. It's made by some dude. What am I going to do? Well, allow me to demonstrate what you do have to do in order to run Signal. The first thing, assuming I actually enter insert mode like a good person, a good Vim user, okay? First thing you do, okay? You build. I knew you were gonna go. This there. Irritates people box. Every time, okay? You have to
use Box Buddy.
Well, this is just what I know how to do. This is just the easiest way. I mean, you could. I don't think I think I got rid of it.
Yeah, I would use Box Buddy, and then I'd grab the ISO I'd want.
I mean, the benefit of Box Buddy is it tells you the aliases of what happens if you go to the GitHub and look at the wiki.
Yeah,
that's the only benefit that I see anyway. The other thing is the one button that updates everything, although there's technically a command for it here. We'll just call this S. I already have a Signal one. This is why I don't want to create another one. And then you have to wait for it to pull the image and do the things, but I already have the image pulled, so it's just going to have to run in all of the initial updates to do the things. Now, the reason you have to do this for Signal is, one, because they're Debian only. The other reason you need to do it this way is because Chromium browsers on Flatpaks are all broken. Because Chromium does not support Flatpak Sandbox, they prefer to use some kernel namespace something, and even though people have tried to converse with Chromium's team, they just don't have the time to deal with it, and there are more pressing things they need to be working on right now, which is why it just is not on their radar. Which is funny because the things that Chromium does support is stuff like they were pretty fast to support Wayland, although Firefox technically beat them. They eventually Chromium did get around to it, and they did it. Desktop portals are also supported. Which was a couple years. All of this was years ago. So don't get me wrong. I think what they are doing, is good steps. I just wish it'd be a little faster.
I see.
So you wait for this thing to install all of the basic packages. Great. So you're now in the thing. All right. You do. First thing you need to do is you need to run. I'm not going to do it because I already have Signal on my computer and it's just going to be weird. The first thing you have to do is you need to go into the terminal and copy paste all these commands. It's going to basically play out identically as it is for Debian because you're just running it in Ubuntu. You just copy paste all the commands into here. You're done, right? But the other thing you need to do, and I know this, is you need to install xdg utils, which you need. I'm not going to do it right now. You need to do it because with xdg utils, you need that because otherwise portals don't work.
Oh.
So yeah, you kind of need this. Also, for some reason, they try to install C++ on Ubuntu. Why, I don't know. I just nod my head and say yes. Yeah, it would probably be nice to rerunning X11 utils, but I don't think that Signal is Wayland, so it's not necessary. But
Right.
whatever. It's probably a dependency of something else, so that's why it's here. You do that, you open Signal, and it will runs basically identical to whatever Signal Signal is supposed to be. And this is, unfortunately, these are the hoops you have to jump through to run because Signal refuses to use like a normal packaging for solution. Like, I don't blame them, but like that's just the world we're in right now, and unfortunately, there isn't really an answer to that. I can get into. I have a video where I'm working on a video for something more complex use cases for this, where you can construct an ini file. And if you have the ini file built, it will literally just recreate your container, doing every command that I wrote down here, but you do it when you build your container. So you have an argument which builds your ini file, and then it just rebuilds the entire container for you. So the reason I'm pitching this to you is because if you take that container file with all of the commands that you have on your little guide or whatever, right? You just build an image that just runs all of those commands like when you build the image.
Right.
So it just installs everything and does all the things, and you don't have to like think about it. Like, so that way, whatever distro you choose doesn't matter. So for example, Vtuber, it works now. It didn't used to. Back before Ubuntu 24.04 came out, there were problems with mismatched versions of SDL if you were running a distribution which had a later version of SDL in it. So what you had to do is you have to install, you just dump Vtuber in a folder that you run, which is how people see me talking. And then you dump that into a folder.
Right.
And then you just in the container, you have to create a, you have to download all of the libraries that you needed. And then you would just run it because the guy who runs Vtuber, he only tests on Ubuntu, right? So like, and there's a bunch of other. I'm sure he's saying all these things now. People are probably like, "Hey, I know a program just like that," or whatever, right? It's like, I mean, you could also put it on GitHub and just do a pull signal container. It's like, I mean, kind of, I guess. I don't know how to use Git at all. The last time I used Git, it deleted 3 months of my website, and it got me really mad. It made me never want to use it ever again. Thankfully, I had backups, but holy crap, maybe no one never use Git ever again. I know people are like, "Oh, but it's a great versioning system. If it's so great, how come it was made in a month?" Yeah, it shows. I ain't touching that thing ever. I do not want to touch Git in my life. It's the last thing I want to touch. It's like no one ever sees my website anyway. It's all proprietary. I know. Well, proprietary in air quotes. You can still just it's a website. You can literally just download the HTML and JavaScript and just look at it. Like I don't change anything. I've submitted upstream changes to the Hugo template that I use. One of them was rejected, but at least I fixed the Twitter card breaking on people's websites because Hugo changed how Twitter cards are written when they changed their name to be X, right? So like, so they had to you had to like change the variable in the example sites config because that was broken. So yeah. You need to wrap your head around it. Yeah, good luck. I tried for 6 hours and couldn't do it. If I can't do it in 6 hours in a workday, you're toast. Like that's how I describe. That's how I allocate my time. If you cannot teach me, if an AI or people cannot teach it to me within a workday, I am not using your thing. Like, and it's usually, and I'm really generous with that 8 hours. It can be like broken up over multiple days. You know, you can, like, you know, if like you have to like ask other people, sure, but like if you can't do it within that 8 hours, Like, done. I'm not dealing with it. It's not worth my time. Like, so like, let's say like you wanted to. I helped someone with this the other day. How do you when you clone a drive? How do you resize a drive? It's like, well, you go to your local AI buddy, because resizing drives have been documented for forever now, right? You ask, hey, how do I resize a drive? And it tells you the commands you need to run, and you go enter those commands, and then you're done, right? That's an example of something that can be done like really easily, right? And that's a good example of a use case for AI, right? Because when you ask an AI those questions, right, that's stuff that's been documented for like decades, right? It's like it's a well trodden process, right? Whereas with an AI, you cannot ask an AI how to write Zig. Like, good luck. I mean, you can probably ask like one of the cloud AI, coding AI, like GitHub Copilot or whatever, but like most of them will probably have trouble because it's a new language, right? Or like try asking like an AI anything about Podman. Yeah, it's not going to know what to do. Most of them aren't going to know what to do,
Right.
because even though technically it's been around for years, and there are people who use it in production, it's just when AIs were created, it didn't really take off until after that 2022 line, when like AI was released to the public, right? So like it just doesn't have that information, right? Unless you like somehow download a model and train the information. But in order to download the model, you have to also, in order to train the model, you need to have like an additional terabyte of storage to basically fill its head with all the knowledge. Like, it's like, at that point, what are you really doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually tried it was like the initial stable diffusion. I remember when we tried the initial stable diffusion, we read the paper. I'm like, wow, this sounds really cool. So Winward and I sat down one evening, just privately, and we built the Jupyter notebook that had the initial build of stable diffusion from whatever the company's called. So we built the notebook and we generated our first image. It was horrible. And not at all like the images that showed up in the paper. We actually generated 6. And none of them looked as good. We used the exact prompt that was used in their white paper. And turns out none of the images looked as good as the ones they made. They were all terrible. And once you learn stuff like this, you realize, oh yeah, most of these academic white papers made by AI companies, they're all just them talking out of their butts, including like Google and like Microsoft and Facebook. It's like you can't trust like the citations that they put in these papers or like the results that they put in them. It's just sugar coated to look good. Like,
right.
It's just like, it's horrible. And it's also probably done to I learned later that it was like, oh, they probably do this to bypass peer review, which is even more crazy. But like, so like they just do it to skip an academic peer review and just push stuff out. Like, yeah, it's like, oh, okay. Google DeepMind does this all the time. If you've ever come across Google DeepMind's papers, and cross compare like Google DeepMind's paper sources with their actual stuff. I did not. I've only done this like twice. Don't think I do this on a daily. I don't, but I have done it before. It's actually kind of crazy where they actually take like parts of other papers, which sort of support their ideas, but it doesn't fully support their ideas in the context of the papers that they're actually citing. So like, it's like when you actually like review the context of those papers that they're citing, it doesn't match what they're trying. Sometimes it doesn't match what they're trying to say about like something else. So yeah, that's how I look at it anyway. All right. That's enough blabbing about DistroBox. That's my spiel. Why is this not switching over? That's my spiel about DistroBox. Back to the Codeberg. VTube Studio, yeah, you just go to Steam and install it. Don't know, because they got rid of the other. There used to be another way to install it, but they got rid of that, so now it's only through Steam. I vaguely remember that. That was like 4 years ago. I don't know what they're doing now. I think it's only Steam now. Umu launcher, yeah, I dropped this. Ain't nobody gonna be running whatever this is. Just tell them to install. What was there was another one in here that you said that like Fogus or cartridges. Just tell them to do that instead. This is easier. You just click one button and you're done.
The reason, I understand like where you're coming from with that. But the reason is like, what if somebody has an issue with Fogus? They actually want to go through all that.
Go to cartridges. Like,
what's cartridges?
GNOME. It's a GNOME thing. It's a GNOME Circle project that does the same thing.
Interesting.
So like, yeah, let me see if I can dig it up. It's circlegnome.org. Yeah. And then oh, right. Click on the button. Then you scroll down. Oh, that's the, where is it? Bam. Cartridges. Okay, you go this thing, it goes and loads all your games. That's it. That's all there is. That's it. That's all it is. I mean, you can technically go in here, you can change the executable like you can with like, you know, a desktop file. That's basically what this is doing. Like, yeah, that's it. You can it also supports all of these things. I don't, which I'm looking at the things here just cursory. This is like 95% of like what most people need, barring like, I don't know, you want to play like, I think I showed this in a video as B-roll. The game, do you know the game Facade? Maybe.
I think I do.
So with Facade, it was an experimental game that was released in like 2005, and it was you type out responses, and the game responds to you based on what you type.
Oh,
so for 2005, you know, the game was like we think like today that means nothing because of AI, right? But like back in 2005, that was like crazy, right? Like that, like you can actually like type out a free form response, and the game will respond to you. Now it's not perfect, right? Because you can literally spam. Like you can literally just spam like ridiculous things, say like ridiculous things, and like and get the ending that you want. But it's basically like three people arguing in a room, and you need to like solve the argument. But yeah, it's an interesting idea, but it took them like a billion years to make the game. Like, but you can't install that game through Steam. It's not on Steam. It's not on any game store. You have to download it from like some random website, and then you need to run it in Lutris or something. It's like really weird. There is a Lutris installer for it, but it's nuts. But again, even that falls into the category of Lutris, right? So like, because there's a Lutris installer for it. Or like, I got a hold of the game Soulframe. I got a hold of one of the beta keys for it, right? So like, that's an example of like, that's not on Steam. You can't download it through Steam because they email you the executable file. So like, you have to. So I have an executable file, and then you have to go into Lutris, and then Lutris will ask you, "Hey, load in your executable file," because they can't legally distribute it because of the terms of service, right?
Right.
So like, also because it's gated behind your account login. So like, yeah, like, but again, you do that through Lutris. And then the same thing is when I wrote the VC face thing for bottles. That's basically what you do, except it just downloads the zip folder from what's her name's website.
You wrote a VC face thing for bottles?
I was the writer for the Lutris file.
I did. Oh, okay. You're doing for Lutris. Okay, yeah. So because for bottles, I had to do something like completely different. I had to make my own thing to make it like work for VC face.
For bottles, do you have an XML file here for it? YAML? You do.
I do, and it took a lot of troubleshooting.
Yeah.
So I got it done though, and it works.
Yeah, the big one's Arial 32. Wait, you need time? Yeah, you need Arial and Times. You needed DX9? I don't think you do. Do you?
I don't think I need it. I created a game bottle, so I kind of was just troubleshooting.
Oh, okay.
So you may not need DX9. Unity is more like a DX11 thing, but
yeah, I don't remember what
it works.
Engine it is. Yeah, cool. At least someone did it.
Yeah, that took like an evening to do that.
Yeah. That's about as what I did for Lutris when I had to read Lutris's documentation. It was a mixture of I had Lutris's documentation, and then I had like I just pulled like a random game on Lutris to figure out like what was going on. So like
I was trying to find VC faces like dependencies and like what dependencies it normally runs, and then just kind of poke around in it to see.
Yeah, it's really just it was really just .NET and Arial. I think in Arial. Those are
because it needs yeah.
So if I go to Lutris, I'll show you what I did because it hasn't changed too much. Someone else has touched it since then. But with VC face, what happens is if you go to here, you will need Arial and the Visual Studio 2015 runtime. I don't remember what Bottles does out of the box, but it's something along those lines where you need to have, what is it? I think you have it, .NET 45 or whatever. It's one of these.
You need .NET like 40, 48.
Yeah, there's something about one of those.
I don't think you need direct play, but I was. Yeah,
if it works, it works, right?
Yeah, if it works, it does
wine
work
for you.
That's the best part. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same amount of troubleshooting I did. Like if you take a look at my Nix.
But there's another thing
file.
here. You can't just distribute this file to people because it says here KyloNeko. Yeah, that's not people's.
I'm gonna have to like edit that.
We'll update it too. So you did your homework. Because I don't remember this being here. So cool. Cool. Yeah, I did one for Cacao Talk because I had a friend who really needed it.
Mm-hmm. I managed to also get it. I mean, it runs easily through the Fogus launcher, but some people might want to use bottles instead. Kind of give them this option.
Just use bottles. Don't hurt yourself like that.
No, I got it working through the Fogus launcher as well. It's not
because Fogus is basically Lutris, to my understanding. Kind of. It's not quite.
It's
Lutris.
Uemu, basically. It's weird.
It's an RPM only.
It's also a flat pack.
Okay. Sorry, it gives me a heart attack. I don't ever I do not ever. When I see a Deb package like that, I'm just like, no, I don't ever want to see that.
I hate Debian.
I hate RPMs too. Holy crap! I was going through this where I won't say what the program was. I was testing out a program, and WebKit was busted, and it was just a white screen. It's like, welp.
Damn.
Gonna have fun in compiling WebKit from source and learning how to write with Tari and using PNPM. What fun! What a great way to spend my evening. I said to.
Yeah.
All right. Mix it up. I tried this. It didn't work. Maybe I was doing something wrong.
Mix it up works. It's interesting.
Yeah, I couldn't get I tried all of this and I couldn't get it working. So I don't. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. The Twitch account that I never the Twitch account I barely open. Like,
and I'm probably gonna have to go back over that one specifically because I know it works. It's worked before, especially when I was like under Mint. You could probably easily just get it running through the Fogus.
It's why I've never shown up on your Twitch channel. The reason why I don't show up on your Twitch channel is because I can't comment because they asked me for a phone number to comment. And I said, yeah, screw you, Twitch. I don't use you as well. Well, YouTube, that's whatever. YouTube already knows who I am. I don't care. Twitch, on the other hand, I barely use and is asking me for a phone number. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm not going to bother.
Just give him a burner.
Yeah, but then you won't know it's me.
No.
I have burner accounts. It's okay.
Yeah.
I may or may not have 50 emails on the side that people don't know about to do these things.
I see. XR Animator. That one
I know you started. I saw you started using this.
Yes, I have. Now this originally was something that Corbett Frost had originally done, and they have their own video on it as well.
I saw their video, and I was like, "This is fascinating."
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool. This is cool. This is what I'd say is an ethical use of AI."
It's not really AI. It's more like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, this ain't AI. Whatever it is, it's kind of AI, but it's not really.
It is the solution to Leap Motion, though.
Uses Torch, right? I think.
I don't know specifically.
Who runs this? This is crazy. Is it only one person? That's wild. Free XR. AI based. Okay, well, it's kind of AI based.
Sort of. It's not like it doesn't think. It does.
Yeah. I mean, AI doesn't think at all, but I've said my piece about AI multiple times.
I don't like, in the grand scheme of things, I don't like AI, but there are certain things that are tools.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Just accept AI. It's a tool. You might as well just use it. It's fine.
Nah.
Just don't tell AI stupid. I've heard this from my coworkers and my friends and family. Do not tell AI the Bible stories that you're reading, or treat it like your therapist, or don't tell it anything remotely personal. like at all. Do not do that, especially to OpenAI, because Sam Altman is one of the most evil people on this planet. Like you cannot give that man's AI your information.
Like there are like very few
Chat
ethical AI
GPT
things.
is so broken. They don't even let you change the email address you gave them when you make an account. I learned that the other day.
Yeah, I don't try to use stuff like Chat GPT or any sort of AI stuff. I hate Gen AI. I also don't like it when AI is making art and music. It's not really making anything. It's just prompt pulling, but I don't like that at all. As far as like XR Animator goes, it's just a tool, so it works.
This is
It's the
fascinating.
solution Elite Motion.
Yeah, when I saw Corbin's video,
really
I was
good.
like, "This is fascinating." Like,
yeah.
Did you link? You did link Corbin's video in here. I think
Yes.
that's how I found it.
I try my best to do that as much as I can.
I was like, yeah. What app do you use to run this on? Also, don't most people use iPhones? I think. Because of what is it called? The Apple developer kit that runs face cap tracking. Forget what it's called.
Is your stream fine?
I don't know.
I'm saying it like buffering.
Broadcasting overloaded. Considering turning down the video settings. That means I have to stop streaming. What the?
Are you at least recording?
Yeah.
As well? Okay.
It says broadcasting is overloaded. I think it means my streaming quality is too high. Too much streaming.
I had issues, random ass issues with OBS, so...
You want me to tell you a funny story when I was recording?
What?
When I was recording something for Patreon, I found out in the middle of the recording, and thankfully I caught it in the middle of the recording, that it was recording in like 120,000 like kilobits per second. I'm like, that's not good.
Yeah, I try to stick with the 8,000 or 6,000.
Oh, that's for streaming. That's probably fine. When I pre-record stuff, I always do the minimum for the YouTube recommended, which is 12,000. I think 12,000 where I am.
What do I have it set for my recordings? My recordings are always in HD.
You're probably like in 10,000. So most people do 10,000 or 8,000. Because 8,000 is fine for like 1080p. I just try to cover all the bases because like I don't even know why I bother anymore. Because
it's
like
not even.
I just upload in 24 FPS.
Yeah, it's using 8,000. It's using
the only time I've ever like done 60 FPS is like just the way I animate is horrible. The way I animate is so jank. If people learned how I animate, it's literally just you go in DaVinci Resolve and you just use a filter to shake stuff around. It's like that's literally all it is.
I've learned how to learning how to use stuff like it's like some animation software, learned how to do keyframes and stuff. And
yeah, but I did that in DaVinci Resolve. I just didn't do it the right way.
Yeah,
I still do all the keyframing. I just don't do it in like I know a lot of people use like Blender or whatever. Yeah, I don't do that.
I was using Pencil 2D and Kdenlive to do a couple of like GIFs.
Kdenlive keyframing is torture. That's horrible.
Well, Kdenlive is very similar to Sony Vegas, and I vibe with that.
Yeah, but their uploading is not great. Kdenlive's fine if you need to do something quick, but for like if you're being serious, don't use Kdenlive. Oh, that's another thing I had to comment about. That's another thing I had to comment about. Like this, I saw you recommended like a bajillion video editors. Just delete like 7 of them. Like you don't need to tell people about these. Like OpenShot, like don't use OpenShot. No one uses OpenShot.
You gotta give people options though. You don't want to like.
Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, but when those options are bad, you don't have to recommend them. Like. I'm just saying, like, Kdenlive's fine, but, like, some of this stuff is, like, what is it? Like, I don't remember Flowblade. Do I know what this is? This is literally looks like Kdenlive. What's the difference? This is literally Kdenlive. What's the difference?
The difference is it's another program.
This looks exactly like Kdenlive. What am I looking at? Wait, this is different. But this looks like Kdenlive. What am I looking at? I like going crazy?
Yeah.
This looks exactly like Hidden Live. This looks exactly like Hidden Live. Look. Oh, it's a little different. I don't have Hidden Live installed. Well, I guess it's a little different. Okay, I take back my criticism, but it's the same color palette.
I just like to have options for people in case they're like, I don't like Kden Live, I don't like DaVinci Resolve. Let me look for something else.
If you need codecs, you can buy the studio license. Ren said there are ways to buy. He was actually the one to help me to bypass the codec requirement stuff, even though he and I don't have to because we own the studio version. So it's like I don't even know why I bothered, but as a result, what I've been doing is I just record an AV1. So like, yeah, it's because of that I've just been recording an AV1.
Yeah.
How do you tone down settings? It's like telling me to like tone down my settings. Like, how do I do it without ending stream? Is the question.
Go ahead and open up OBS.
I did.
Or
I just have to drop the bitrate, right? It's like, is that all I have to do?
Yeah, you can drop the bitrate. YouTube would realistically only use.
Oh, I can do it live. Yeah. So let's drop this to 8,000. Let's say that's 8,000 maximum bit rate could be 10,000 just for safety. The bottom one should be 8,000. We'll try that. Okay.
For streaming,
yeah, for streaming, I just did
4,000. Twitch would use 8,000. If you're recording, that's different.
Recording, I just changed the streaming settings. We'll see if that fixes it. It's good to know they let you
see it catch up a little bit.
Okay, good. That's what that was. Okay, great. I can never tell. It's okay. It's audio only. If you're just throwing me on in the background while you're doing your dishes, that's fine. I'll take it. You're still a viewer, even if you're not actually watching me. You're just listening to me complain.
Yeah, this is now a podcast.
NVIDIA and Arch Linux is
interesting.
Very,
to say the least.
Yeah. It's okay.
I prefer
to be in their defense. It's not bad.
Yeah, I like it when a distro gives you
not bad.
It either installs the driver for you or it gives you the driver manager so you can choose the one that you want instead of having to go through a terminal. Which I can go through a terminal if I want to, if I give myself enough time. But
I think Pop OS touched on something special where they just said, "Yeah, just pick the ISO you need and do that one." It's like,
yeah, that's what Pika OS did too. They have an NVIDIA ISO.
Yeah, that's the way to. I hate System 76 in that way, in many ways, but that's one thing they did right. Like,
yeah.
Windows will be deleted. You might have to do a thing about backups, but I guess you can't really do a tutorial. Hey, drag and drop all your stuff into Google Drive. Like. I've done that before.
Back your stuff up. Ren has helped me write this. I will say that.
All right, I need to skip ahead.
If you look at you're looking at this right now. I have the original files attached to this guide too. Oh, that's Stream Ninja is really good.
What is this?
Basically, you could say you want to see both chats at the same time, but you can't show it on stream.
People do it. Okay.
Yeah. So on Linux, you can use Stream Ninja. And you can then see all your chats in one chat window, even if they might not show up on stream due to Twitch's insane rules. But
Twitch's TOS is wild.
It's stupid. I hate it.
I don't even use Twitch, and I know it's insane.
A lot of streamers on Twitch ignore it. They're like, "This is dumb. We're doing it anyways."
Come on, don't you also want to shrimp for girls online? That's gonna get clipped. Holy crap! All right.
OnlyFans. Flansly.
It's like on YouTube when you refer to the word I use for it is the Y word that cannot be named. I tell people if you know what it is, you know what it is. It's a program that that recently has a new JavaScript dependency that YouTube really, really, really does not like. If you know what it is, you know what it is.
I might have an idea. I'm just not sure.
It's probably exactly what you're thinking about.
Can you download videos with it?
Among other things. Not just videos. It does other things too.
Okay. I think I have
like subtitle files. It
Yeah.
also does JPEGs, believe it or not. I don't know if you knew that. You know it downloads JPEGs, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it can get the
It gets the
thumbnails, I think.
URL, right? But it doesn't. Yeah. All right. Let's stop talking before the banhammer strikes. OBS. Unfortunately, plugin for OBS Spout. What's Spout 2? I've seen this, but I just never knew what it was.
So Lena's working on Spout 2 as we speak.
Yeah, she's been complaining on Mastodon nonstop about like stupid things about like codecs and like how it interacts with STL and whatnot.
Just do it anyways. We need it. We need Spout 2 because Spout 2 is basically less resource intensive than game capture can be. And on Windows it's more true, but on Linux it's not really that much of an issue. But having Spout 2 would make it to where the UI wouldn't show up whenever you're game capturing like Live 2D or VC Face or Vneon or Warudo, since they all support Spout 2. So if you're able to
does Warudo now work? When I last tried, it didn't work.
Warudo does work, however, it suffers from a memory leak.
Oh.
Vneon also works, and we're still trying to determine which version of Proton, which I'm thinking it's Proton 8, is going to stop. At Proton 8 plus running it under DX11 might end up preventing it from having a memory leak.
So Vneon also has a memory leak when you run it on DX12?
It has a memory leak if you try to run it under DX12, yes. That is to my understanding, because I'm also testing it. I'm also, the other people in the Discord are also using it, because we're trying to find, and also people in the Warudo Discord are testing it. So I'm talking to them in there every now and then.
Why do you need to?
So
wait, hang on. Whoa, slow down. Telling people to install VK Capture from Fedora's repos is a mistake. Don't ever do that. Also, is this actually in Fedora's repos? That's wild if it is. This whatever. Okay, you had me at CMake. I don't think people are gonna know how to use CMake. I mean, I know how to use CMake at a cursory
Tell them how
level.
to use it right now. Tell them how to use it in the guide.
Sure. CMake is you build stuff in C. It sucks. It's horrible.
I've done it multiple times.
Yeah, I do it all the time too, and I hate it. I hate it very much. It's a huge time sink every time I have to generate subtitles, and it's like, okay, gotta run CMake. I gotta git pull origin main or whatever to download the thing, and then I have to run CMake, and then I can finally run Whisper with the AI model over my voice to subtitle videos. Like, and then it's funny because the subtitles don't get things like gnomes right. It spells flat packs with a C. Like, it's like,
well,
yeah.
the cool thing about stuff like the closed caption plugin is you can have it set to where it saves your transcripts, and then you can essentially just have your subtitles saved
in SRT.
In OBS.
I need them in SRT, man. I need to edit them.
What is SRT?
Subtitle files. So like when I upload, so all of my videos except for like my live streams have subtitles. Because every single video I have is all subbed. All to varying degrees of quality. But I try my best to at least have something, right? And yes, I do proofread them. So like,
yep, they are an SRT. They are subtitle files.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say if they don't, that's insane.
They are. They are. So if you needed to upload your subtitles for any reason, or if YouTube should just say, "Oh, you said this," like, "No, I have the subtitles. This is what I said."
What? And then the other thing is, this only happened like twice where someone has sent me subtitles of stuff in Chinese, which I verified are fine. I'm like, okay. So I threw those in. That's only happened like once though.
I've had people offer me to like, can you put this in other languages? And I'm like, what
I do is I tell people go to YouTube and then you go to the gear and you translate the subtitles that I already have there. Like,
yeah, I told them that's what they're gonna have to do is,
yeah, but you don't have subtitles. You have autogen, and autogen introduces more problems because it's not gonna know.
I can always replace it with the transcripts that I save, which I should be doing, but I'm just not because they're live streams.
OBS plugins. I have you mentioned this one item. That's the thing. The thing.
Yep.
The thing.
Yep.
Not to be confused with 2.5 stars. People don't like it. That's
not bad.
forms, whatever. They're not forms. People aren't real people. It's fine. Uh-oh. What's this? To add item. And it takes you back to the website. Ah! Wow, is this going to get me copyright claims because it's footage? I'm going to scroll down fast. Forget redemption requests. Yeah, in my dreams. TikTok gifs. TikTok gifs. What society are we living in now?
I don't know, but I just used the multi-stream plugin on this. The vertical plugin's not bad either, but
vertical? Oh, this?
Yeah, they have a vertical. Yeah, the multi-stream and vertical plugin's fine. Everything else is like
I heard about this. You know, Twitch has a feature where it creates YouTube clip shorts and like TikToks for you.
Yeah, they're doing that now. Yeah.
No, in Twitch, there's a way to do it in Twitch. I learned about this recently. I don't even use Twitch. I was like, that's interesting.
Oh yeah, I think it's a recent thing too.
Yeah, it was like this year. It was like pretty recent.
Yeah, because YouTube's starting to do it too, where you can like stream and have your YouTube is starting to do it now. If you go to live streaming and you take a look at your layout, you can end up switching that over to go to live streaming. Just click on it. Since they updated their interface and finally pushed the update, there is a thing called default layout, which you can then click on. If this would load,
is it a dock?
It would then. It's within like the live stream studio thing on YouTube. So you click on stream key, default stream. You could put. Let's see. There's a way to do this. So I saw it before, but I think you can switch things over to where it like shows both. You can click. Okay, there's a thing where it says it's in stream settings. It says dual stream new. You toggle that on, and you'll see both the default stream and the shorts feed stream. And it will create a short speed stream for you from your default stream.
Huh.
Yep.
I'll make note of that. Very interesting. Glad they're starting to do that now. It's more content for the slop out to the piggies, right?
Gotta have your slop. Gotta have
yeah,
your brain
people
rot.
Get shocked about this when I edit videos. It surprises people. Always subtitles, but also when I do YouTube Shorts, hard-coded subtitles. Yeah, the hard-coded subtitle thing I did solve. I'm gonna actually take the time to show this right now. Assuming it actually works. I think DaVinci Resolve won't get mad at me. We're about to find out. Container has to turn on. Hopefully my stream doesn't die. Hopefully. DaVinci Resolve. Okay, Microsoft Ignite. Yeah, we'll do this one. This is a video that has not come out yet. But as for a point of reference, okay? You can go into here, you can literally just go and you can like I have hard-coded subtitles on literally everything. So what I do is I edit the subtitles first. Well, first you edit the video first, like, you know, the video, the audio and whatever.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you take the videos and convert them into subtitles. I'll tell you, a year ago, before I used to have to do this all by hands. That was torture. Here's what you have to do now. There's a script by some random dude on GitHub. It's just a Python script. The only thing it requires is TK. It's called like TK Inter. It's a Python library, but it's one of the core Python libraries. So I'm running this in DaVinci Box. You just install Python-tkinter into DaVinci Box. So it's a sudo DNF install. And then you get this. And then what you do is you feed it your subtitle file. And then what you can do is you have to specifically make a folder called captions template. And that's your captions. And then what happens is you put that into that'll template that you make here will show up here. And then you select the subtitle file that you want. You click execute. And then on the track that you have currently selected, what it will do is it'll dump Fusion subtitles of everything that you're doing.
Oh, damn.
Because all it's
That's
doing,
crazy.
yeah. So like this way you can get all of those sweet hard coded subtitles on all of your YouTube Shorts videos to upload to TikTok or whatever. Like, and unlike there's a bunch of other solutions. So there's another program called Open Subtitles. The problem with Open Subtitles is they only work on Ubuntu, and when you decompile the package is just requires FFmpeg, and it only dumps something into the scripts folder in Resolve. And it's like, why is this a deb package? So have fun having to recompile that decompile that package, dump all the stuff where they're supposed to every single time the program updates. What fun! This is you just dump it into the DaVinci Resolve scripts folder, and you just let it rip.
See,
I don't remember where the GitHub is because I should probably have thought about this before I talked about this. And then you can tell the guy who made this, he got really salty because like the text is super hard to read. But this says here, this feature relies on a bug in DaVinci Resolve's API. If this bug gets fixed, all plugins to convert subtitle tracks to Text Plus will break. Using an SRT file, which is the first one here, is more reliable. So this is the most reliable, and these ones are all hacks.
I see.
And then what you do is you can export specific tracks to be stuff. So for me, it's a little tricky because what I do is I have, when there's more than one person speaking, that's why there's 2 tracks of hard subs. So this is like the main track of hard subs, and this is like the second track of like when there's like multiple speakers speaking, because that happens like a couple times in like these sorts of things. So like if I go to like, I don't think I actually did that one. This one, sure. This one actually had all sorts of rendering problems, and I think that's actually has more to do with DaVinci Box than anything else. But what happens is you have to go into here, and then you just generate all the stuff. So this is like an example of like what it looks like manually, because it's not a Fusion title, it's just a Text Plus title. Convoluted. Wow. And then you basically just paste in text here, and then it does the thing, and then you just keep doing it until over. But what I do, because I'm crazy, is I color code everything, and yes, the color code actually, there is a meaning behind all of it. So like mine is like always orange, and like when it's always blue, and then whatever tech company gets their own color. So like Microsoft is like some blue. It looks very similar to Facebook's blue, but it's not the same blue. And then like yeah. So like if I were to give you one, it'd probably be purple, because I know you like purple.
Yeah.
Purple? Primrose? Whatever you call that. It's a color, but basically you can use this to that's what I do. You just use this script. It's free. Go to the guy's it's called Resolve Open Captions on GitHub. Go look it up, okay? Go to the guy's Ko-Fi and give him lots of money. He deserves it. Like what a hero. Also, it works on Windows, Mac, and Linux exactly the same as long as you have that library. So as long as you have that graphical library, you can use it. Yeah. What a hero. Because the rest of what it's doing is it's all using built-in scripting features that are part of DaVinci Resolve.
Oh, somebody just confirmed that GE Proton 8-32 ran VNeon for 2 hours, 15 minutes.
Not bad.
14
That's a
gigabytes
full
memory use, consistent with the load that they were running.
So it is an older version of Proton.
So hopefully,
but it's specifically GE Proton 8.
8-32.
That's like the last version, isn't it?
Yep. Which is the version that I was running.
Huh.
So, yeah. Hopefully there's no.
The Steam doesn't even show 9. Doesn't show 8 anymore. It still only shows 9.
It does. Right? It does show 8.
It does?
You have to type in Proton, and then you have to manually install it.
Oh.
Through Steam.
Oh.
Yep. They ship it with 9, 10, and experimental, but you have to like type in Proton. It's already in your library if you're on Linux, and then you just click install.
To be honest,
so they have
the worst. What?
Hmm?
Did I just hear myself? I was like, what? Speech jamming. All right. What was it? Crap, I forgot what I was doing now. The worst game I've ever had to run on Linux was LA Noire, by far.
Ooh.
And the reason why is because LA Noire asks you to download executables when you install it, but the executables from the Microsoft pages that it's looking for don't exist anymore. So what you have to do is you have to go to Wine's website and you have to look for the executables that they're looking for. Enter Wine and install those executables that LA Noire is expecting.
I see.
There's probably, but like the sad thing is, like on Windows, I think it's also in the same boat. Like you can't play the game unless you have those executables, and it tries to connect. It doesn't work on Windows 10, so like people have to like go to Wine for the solution because Microsoft doesn't have supply the links to those pages anymore. I'm sure they're on the Wayback Machine, but Wine also has a copy. Yeah, it's awful. There's other funny stuff like Fallout. The first Fallout game, the OG Fallout game, doesn't work. But if you just change the executable's name, it works fine. Why? I don't know.
I had to do something recently with Xenoverse 2 because the game will not launch no matter what unless you change your host file. Then it will launch.
Wait, what do you change your host file to?
So you have to add a line to the host file with basically 0.0 modules. It's on Proton DB, but basically you do it to where you avoid having to see the easy cheat screen. It loads directly to the game. It will still connect you. It will still connect you online. However, you can't play with anybody who has easy anti-cheat enabled. So you're still able to play the game. You're still able to experience all the content. You can see people running around, but you just can't play with people for very long, or easy anti-cheat's going to kick you off. But changing your host file would have to be something you would have to do.
That's horrible.
And that's what I did. And I was like, oh, okay, well, at least I can play the game now.
You just block it. So basically, easy anti-cheat still functions, but you just have to block it from connecting to the internet, and it doesn't pick up on it until you start playing with other people.
And then you're connected to the internet. You can see people running around.
Wait. However, isn't that game like that's one of those like MMOs, right? Like, why do they have anti-cheat in that?
Because they're lame. And they haven't enabled it for Linux, because before all you had to do was like, launch Proton, launch the game, can't play with people online, you're playing the game anyways. But I'd hate to be locked out of the game that I was playing. And the other option besides changing the host file is to just disconnect your computer from the internet and launch the game and you can play it. That's the other option.
Oh, I wanted to do this. Mode. I just never have gotten around to it. Finding out how to block internet in Wine through a command, because there's a way that Lutris and Heroic do it, and I just don't remember. Like,
there is a bash script somebody referenced in the same Proton DB article, same Proton DB thing for Xenoverse 2.
Tell me more
about having a
This is actually an answer I've been looking for years.
This will give you an idea where you could press F12 and
what is it? Xenoverse.
Xenoblade's different series.
Oh.
Xenoverse 2.
That's not confusing.
Xenoverse 1 will work
2, like number 2, Linux, or though. 2 as in Roman numerals 2?
2. Now, Xenoverse 1 will work online on Linux. But Xenoverse 2, yep, it has easy anti-cheat.
This isn't what I was thinking. You need to block the Epic Games anti-cheat.
That's what I had to do.
The internet.
Yeah.
Wait, so doesn't this break 1,000 stub a month?
Yeah, because the game wouldn't launch, and then the
bro. This isn't even Tim Sweeney's fault. This is literally just them being bad. Like,
yeah.
Is it this one? Wait, what is
I tried that.
What is this? What the heck is going on with this?
I have no idea. I tried it. Didn't work. I'm not sure what they're doing on their Endeavor OS install. If you ever want to have
this person said switch to experimental and online play doesn't work.
Yeah, that was 3 months ago. They updated the game since then. You cannot play the game unless you block easy anti-cheat somehow. By either playing the game in offline or by disconnecting your
blocking
computer.
Easy anti-cheat, because I don't think it depends on the game, but certain easy anti-cheat games, what they do is you can change the CDN server they connect to, or the game has specific servers just for them, depending on the game, obviously.
I see.
So this one, I have no idea what this is for, but I think this is just a general easy anti-cheat server. But the thing is, I'm wondering if that's just what they're doing because they don't have a dedicated link. like some games do. So like I think Fall Guys and Fortnite have their own server for easy anti-cheat stuff, right? So this is like its own thing, but there's also some games that have like a different URL for this.
Yeah, and the one at the top tells you about making a bash script where you can have a file that you can create a shortcut for to turn your Wi-Fi off and on.
What, you mean just go to the menu and turn your Wi-Fi off?
No, like you just press F, like you do all the you do the bash script and you just press F12 to turn it on and off.
I mean, I have a button on my laptop. You just press it and turn it off.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do it now for obvious reasons, but
yeah.
Where's the thing that doesn't kill the internet? That's not what I was looking for. I was looking for there's a wine launch option which kills the internet, and I just don't know what it is.
I was trying to look for something like that. Steam Tinker launched, and I didn't see it.
Yeah, because Heroic and Lutris offer it, and I just don't know. Bless you.
Yeah,
I don't know what the origin of the of this is. I don't know Italian. Help.
Translate it.
They're not giving me the option to translate.
Highlight it.
Oh wait, I can. Then... Oh yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
I never use. Believe it or not, I only use this when I log into stuff or stream. I don't use this otherwise. I've used the Mulvad browser forever for everything, and it's just like, yeah, why would I use anything else now? So
I'm using Zen.
Yikes. I just don't like Firefox forks at all. I just hate all of them. There's always something wrong with all of them. I just can't get behind any of them. And I'm sick and tired of people telling people, hey, just use LibreWolf, it'll be fine. But did you know that...
I tried that.
But do you want me to tell you something funny about LibreWolf? Something not funny about LibreWolf?
It wasn't good.
Well, do you want me to tell you something about LibreWolf? Do you want me to tell you what's even more shocking? They don't keep up with their own privacy changes.
Yikes.
So if you download LibreWolf right now, and you go to the about config, you'll see they have options configured that have been removed from ArcandFox for at least a year.
I see.
So I don't know what the heck they're doing, but I think they just don't have the ability to keep up with it, because with ArcandFox, it's Thorin who runs everything, and he doesn't run everything, but he does a lot of the heavy lifting. So he's the one who runs all of it. But all they had to do was just copy the JavaScript from that file and just put it into the CFG folder. But if you look at the CFG that they have, it's outdated because they don't keep up with updates. And that's at that point, why should you have no reason to use LibreWolf, just use normal Firefox or ArcandFox. But even then, it's I don't have a good argument for that either, because at that point it's, well, maybe you should just use Mulvad and then you don't have to do a dance of ArcandFox, because you have to do that dance of ArcandFox every time you update your profile. Yeah. The problem with Zen is you're running Firefox ESR and you're not getting the latest Firefox features. So that's another problem on top of all the other stuff. That's a problem with a lot of the other ESR stuff as well, like Tor and Mulvad and all of them too. But what?
Florp.
What's Warp?
No, it's Florp.
Florp? Don't use Florp.
I used it before. I had a memory leak problem.
Yeah, because it's just they're just running. Just download an extension if you don't I don't know what Firefox is offering or whatever. You don't need a fork for that.
I've been using Zen.
I know people really like what is that browser called that everyone kept on the news kept shilling and is obviously some sort of capital investment plant. Arc. It was Mac only, so it was it's bait.
There's a web browser that,
and then they deleted it, and then they deleted it, and then they said oh, we need to rethink this, and then now they're trying to do they're trying to do their own agentic browser, but no one has access to it.
Oh God!
But no one has access to it.
Browsers.
It's all secret. They're very hush hush about it.
Don't use any AI powered browsers like that. Not good.
They're trying to be all hush hush about it. What was the other thing you
Orion.
just said? Orion? No.
Good,
no. WebKit. No. Don't ever use WebKit browsers. WebKit's awful. I would rather use Firefox before I use WebKit. I'm not even joking.
The DuckDuckGo browser is pretty okay though.
The DuckDuckGo browser varies wildly depending on which platform you use it on.
Android?
Even on Android, I just don't have a good reason to recommend it because their block lists are very secret in question. Their block lists aren't secret, but they're not very comprehensive, and they don't really do anything beyond like add a pretty button that deletes all your browsing history. Like, so there's not really a reason to use the DuckDuckGo browser, if that makes sense. Like, and also like they just can't keep up. They're up. Yeah, they just don't. And they don't use like a normal list. Whereas like when you use like Brave, or let's say you're using uBlock Origin on like a Firefox fork, like what's happening is they pull from the same filter lists that block all of those things, right? So they don't actually have to do any work, which is what you're supposed to do, right? Now that does put a lot of burden on the people who have to maintain those lists, but unfortunately someone has to do it anyway, right? So like, you know, and plus they already open that to the like Easy List, for example, is already open to the public. So yeah, just use that. Brave's default filter list is a little funky because they also include like other stuff where I don't know if you know this, but Brave has uBlock Origin's filter list built into it. It's not said when you go look into it when you look at the interface, but you will see this if you look at the source code that they're using uBlock Origin's filter lists. So that's why like theirs is mostly up to date most of the time. Plus their ad blockers independent of the extension stuff altogether. And then but the problem with Brave is they also have all sorts of crypto nonsense, and then it's like, well, you can't win now, can you? I mean, I wanted to do a video on it, but I canned it, and I said I wanted to do a video to get Trivalent, which is what the browser that SecureBlue uses. Basically, it takes the patches that on Google Chromium and Graphene OS do to Chromium, and then it puts it onto a desktop browser, Chromium, right? Here's the problem. The way Trivalent works is it is only supported on SecureBlue, meaning if you're not using SecureBlue, they will not assist you. That's a problem. Second problem, Linux only, because it's only on SecureBlue. Problem number 3 is it's only effective when it has the SE Linux profile that SecureBlue puts into it. So you need to have like that SE Linux profile installed on your main machine in order to make use of it. And then interacting with it in distro box on any distro is just going to make that get wacky. Because you don't want to install that stuff on host. It's just weird. So, you know, if you use SecureBlue, go for it. Great. I would love that because it's just Chromium with no catches, right? Like I think that's what most people want, right? The only catch with Trivalent is like most things that you download that are like security hardened or whatever, you have to put in a lot of work to like fix problems. So like for example, one of them is like just-in-time compiled JavaScript is disabled. Now I go out of my way to disable that on Chromium anyway, but like if you're using something like what's an example? Like Bitwarden, right? Bitwarden requires just-in-time compiled JavaScript. So if you don't have Bitwarden whitelisted, you can't use you can't use it, right? So you need to whitelist the Bitwarden extension so that it can access just-in-time compiled JavaScript. And you need to do this for like everything that needs to use it. So like if you use like Proton Drive, which requires it as well. If you use Outlook, Microsoft Outlook and the web uses it as well. Right? You have to like go through that. Another one is printing, right? So like printing is broken out of the box on purpose. So you need to check a box in the settings to enable it. So because, you know, yeah, but also who the heck prints stuff anymore? Yeah. Even like I've given up and I just say, yeah, I just go to the local library and print everything. Is it the right thing to do? Probably not, but all right. Well, I'm gonna go back to the list and I'm gonna keep looking. I have way too many tabs open.
Yeah, we
I've lost
started.
track.
Yeah, we started talking about like the video, then we
the video
segued to
video games
to
and
the
video
list.
editing, VC face
Yeah.
and bottles. I know how to do this. I know you put this in here because this is from your testing.
Yeah.
You said place it into that folder. Uh-oh. Well, I know what you meant, but this might need to get cleaned up. What is this?
Yeah.
VK. I don't know about this. I've never had to do that.
I had to do that, and it worked.
Sounds like a Debian specific problem. In VNeon, we did VNeon. VR chat, never opened VR chat in my life.
I am still going to be testing that because I do have a headset.
You have a head.
And I know somebody else who
You
told me
don't
about the
need it, do
Alcon
you?
stuff. You don't need it, but I prefer it because it's the VTubing experience on VR chat.
Audio patch bays? Yeah, I've only barely touched on that. I know how to do it.
One.
I know how to do it. Like I have Helvum, but like
yeah,
I don't.
I use QPW graph.
Same deal. Some of this is kind of repeat, but what is? Oh, because that's what's running bottles when you check the box. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all. I think I've said my piece.
Yeah,
that's all she wrote. Pavu control, I want to say is dead, but I have no idea. What is it? I started using what is it called? There's another launcher. It's called where is it? It's in here somewhere. It is PWVU control. We still can't fix the name, but it's basically the same thing.
It's instead of Pavu control, it's Pawu control.
Is that the joke?
Pawu.
Is that the joke? Is that a joke? Is that actually a thing? Am I just out of touch? Yeah, but this is what I use. Is it the right thing to do? I don't know. I don't know. Jack, I have never touched in my life. Actually, I think I did when I was routing stuff. When you have to route, when I was testing routing stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is.
I needed it when I was using OBS. Yeah, because like you need to have the Jack plugins in order to do things. This was like before I was like discovering the wonderful plugin called Pipewire Audio Capture.
Oh yeah, well that does save a lot of time.
Yeah.
Wait, Pipewire Audio Capture, is that in here?
Yeah, it's a plugin. It's the first one.
Oh.
You definitely want that.
I've never used this, but now I think I will. That's a lot of upvotes. Oh boy.
It is really, really good. It not only captures the application, it can also capture specific devices.
This installation method is unsupported by the OBS team. It can break at any time. This plugin relies on Flatpak permission that the OBS Studio could remove at any time.
Just install it manually through the plugins folder. Don't read all that stuff.
What? What does this mean? What permission are they referring to?
I have no idea. I just install it manually through the plugins folder. There's no point installing it through Flatpak. If you can just
fascinating, but why do they say it's
the LD
no? But why do they say it's no? This is why
I don't know.
We're gonna dig. We're gonna dig. We're gonna do it live. We're gonna dig. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why do we hate Flatpaks? You're objectively wrong. No application.
I don't hate Flatpaks.
I mean, they clearly do. Objectively wrong. No longer working. Related to OBS issue. No longer working in OBS Flatpak. Blah 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 blah. Had to downgrade back to V29. Open OBS. Add a source doesn't work. Go to log file. Put in a log. Decide to update. Is it working? I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably not working because I didn't maintain it. So just install it manually. Thumbs up.
Is that really true though? That's the thing. Is that really true?
That's what it seems.
No, this is what I mean. You have to poke and prod at every single stupid little thing. It's like everyone's saying, yes, I'm running it as a Flatpak. Can you, is that even?
You can do it through terminal.
Yes, I know, but I'm trying. I'm put yourself in the shoes of the new Linux user for me, please. That's all I ask. What is it? Search. Okay, we're gonna go to, what is it called? OBS, not Obsidian. Download.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Download it.